Yo. You're looking at the real deal now. You're gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. You know who we are? You used to think you owned the street. Well, pack your bags and your ass is dead meat. Here we go. Victory is sweet. Here's a receipt. Yeah. Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. Is that what you got? Bring it on. What you gonna do about it? Bring it on. I got an ass right here you can kiss. Man, you don't know what trouble is. And all your BS fresh meat. If that's what you got, it's the real deal now. Get used to it. And you call yourself a man? So what you gonna do about it? If that's what you got, they ain't Yo. You better run home to your mama. One more time. You're messing with the real deal now. Yeah. You should think.
You're listening to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Well, Thursday's come and gone because we're recording this in the evening. So, little behind the scenes, thing of how, right? Hi, it's the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. We are online and coming to your ear hole direct from whatever the hell platform you listen to us on. Hopefully it's good and you do joy in your ear hole from us doing speaky talky things. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, the nitty gritty, and the spammeroni of the episode, as many of you may or may not know, probably will know now by the time this gets posted and you're listening to it. We lost two this week. We lost Terry Funk, and we lost Wyndham Rotunda, known in WWE as Bray Wyatt. I'm sure more news will come on Bray as time goes on. That was something that just happened recently. But the P3 would like to extend condolences to both family friends of Terry Funk and of Wyndham Rotunda. It's always a shame whenever we lose a great entertainer, especially in the wrestling world that we all love so much. So it's a sad time for us, but they're legends in their own right, and we'll get into a little bit more of that a little bit later. But right off the rip, just wanted to extend our condolences to both the loved ones and the friends of Terry Funk and Wyndham Rotunda. But we got a super show for you here this evening, today, whenever you're listening to this. It's a super show because it's going to be big. We got big. Puberty. We've got all in picks to pick. And it's a big fat flopping card. So it's going to be probably a big old chunky episode. And just like my cats, I love a big old chunky episode. So let's get right to it. We're going to do talky things about WrestlePoos and all that good stuff. I am Ransom the Madman, and I am joined by the 75% better portion of the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. That 75% portion being Tiger Bomb Tom, Beef the Legend, and Poot the Bard. Yeah! So we're going to do talks. We're going to do things. Before we get into picks, real fat, farting, flipping quick. I just have a question. This is rumor control. And I want to talk about this first. Please don't diverge topics because I will pitch a hissy fit. Let's just stay in the lane that I'm driving us into and trust that I will guide us to the promised land. Edge's WWE contract is running out. September, I believe. There's been many a rumor and speculation on the interwebs about what he's going to do, what he's not going to do. I guess just recently he released Twitter, Twitch, X-Men video stating that, he doesn't know what he's going to do. There's no hard feelings between him and WWE. He's got a contract extension sitting in his inbox waiting for him. He just doesn't know what he's going to do. But a lot of the rumors going on out there seem to be people thinking, well, he's done everything he can do in WWE. He's already a Hall of Famer. maybe, just maybe, he would want to finish out his career working with his best friend and on-screen brother, Christian, who happens to be in a different promotion. So I kind of want to gauge your guys' thoughts on it. Is it just unsubstantiated rumor? Do you think it could possibly happen where he just kind of finishes things out there with Christian and they're, buds again and they do fun time things? Or is he just going to be done? Like he had a nice farewell on Friday. He's just going to be done. He's going to retire on his own terms. And this whole AEW speculation is just internet darlings being darlandy, internet-y, doofinky doofuses. Now, I do want to hear from each of you, however, as the good teacher sitting at the top of the classroom, I'm going to call on you, and we're going to start out first with the man, the myth, the beef, the legend.
I don't know, man. Like one of my buddies like swears up and down that Edge is a lifer at WWE, much akin to the Undertaker. And like I get that vibe, but also like I feel like Edge has gas in the tank. Edge knows he has gas in the tank. And I think that the sea of AEW is intriguing to him. Obviously, working with Jay Riso would be a huge thing for him. It'd be weird to see him not be Edge. It'd be weird to see him as Adam Copeland or Sexton Hardcastle or whatever he wants to call himself. I'm fine with whatever, but like it would just be weird if he's not Edge. That said, I feel like there's way too much opportunity over there. Like, think about the matchups he could have. Edge and Joe, Edge and Punk, Edge and Omega, Edge and fucking Jay White. The list goes on. Why not? Like, if I'm Edge, what do I have to lose? It's not like Vince is gonna call him and be like, yep, nope, give me your Hall of Fame ring back. You can't be Hall of Famer if you work for AEW. I think it's worth a shot. I think he right now is very. I think he's definitely in a place of like very confusing times. He literally doesn't know. Like I'm sure WWE is probably giving him a big fat highball offer, and like they want because they know that he could go to AEW, draw a lot of money, draw a lot of fucking eyes, and be a draw for them. So Vince is like, let's try to keep this guy. So I'm sure they probably gave him a big fat contract extension. I just don't know that that's something that he needs or wants. I don't know, man. Honestly, so my gut tells me he'll probably end up in AEW, much to the chagrin of my boy. But like, it happens. People all the time. Punk for a lot of people was a WWE lifer until he wasn't. Daniel Bryan was another one. Bryan Danielson obviously got his name big in WWE. So I mean, yes, it does happen. I think it'd be intriguing. But again, it depends on how much gas he has left, and I think he's the only one that knows the answer to that question.
Resident Bardman, how do you feel about this? What do you think?
Well, I'm on the same page as Beef. Like when I first heard about the rumors of Edge going to AEW, I thought to myself, I was like, no fucking way. Come on, the internet, get over it. But the more that I saw, not just like offbeat Facebook fan pages or, less than reputable like dirt sheet websites doing it. When I started seeing like Cultaholic report on it, and when I started seeing like, more like Going in Raw, like Steven Larson reporting on it, and like, I'm like, okay, all right, maybe there's something to look at here. Let's assess this. And I'm kind of right there with Beef in the sense that like he does have stuff left in the tank. I think him coming back and being able to deliver at the, in my opinion, appropriate level for someone not only of his senior, but of someone who has been through the ringer, surgery wise, match wise. If you look at his match history, it's a swath of violence and brutality. Like, I mean, you know, I went back and watched the hardcore match that he had with Mick Foley. That is a masterstroke. That match is so fun.
You talking about the WrestleMania one with the
flaming table
on front? Yeah, the flaming table. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, I mean, not to mention any of the TLC matches or anything like that. Like, and I mean, even his goes on grander stages. Like, I mean, in WWE, I mean, wasn't there a shirt or a post that said, you know, I've won it all, done it all, like 25 years, won it all, done it all, or whatever it is.
I have that shirt.
Yeah, like
one of them, the first iteration of it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I think the only thing that would keep Edge being a WWE lifer is having one stretch of like a legacy, like, and Beef said, he said it perfectly with The Undertaker. Like, I could not imagine Undertaker leaving to go anywhere else. It's just not a thing. Like, if he was still kicking, you know, and still, you know, being able to put on matches of the caliber that he had, and tell the stories that he did, I couldn't imagine him going to AEW. I couldn't imagine him going to New Japan. I couldn't imagine him doing that. Now, obviously, before he was The Undertaker, yeah, okay. Like, you know, when he was, you know, the Amazing Red or whatever the fuck. Like that, I could, sure. But like, when he became The Undertaker, it was like, this is his legacy. This is what he leaves. And I'm sure that Edge thinks about that, is like, you know, when you are in the twilight of your career, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay safe? Do you want to, you know, kind of ride off into the sunset and go and you know, look back upon your works, you know, and be like, this was good? Or is the drive to constantly reinvent, reinvigorate, and reestablish himself? Is that strong enough to go to AEW? And I mean, you think about, like, Beef mentioned all the singles matches, but fuck, man, if he teams back up with Christian, I mean, it's right fucking there. It's Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. It wouldn't be the fucking star-studded shit they did before, but it's there, you know. And I think those guys know each other well enough and are professional enough and have buried all of the hatchets to actually make it entertaining while still being able to hide their weaknesses and you know, show their strengths.
I'd pop pretty hard for Edge and Christian versus the Bucks.
Oh, Edge and Christian versus FTR. Edge and Christian versus the House of Black. Just imagine them coming out doing the Brood thing or something like Brood-esque. You know what I mean? Against House of Black. Them versus the Lucha Bros. Like, it writes itself. And if Edge has that drive and if he's got the tread left on the tires, I would love to see him go to AEW. I would love to see him still being willing and also impart the wisdom that he has to the younger talent. You know, and to give them a little more credence, because short of Punk, and I'm not trying to start a fire here, Punk has done good things for AEW. All things on the table. But AEW has done a really good job using legends. Really, their track record for it, it's not completely 100% stellar and shiny, but they've done a wonderful job of using these veterans in appropriate fucking ways. I think it would be a boon for AEW. I think it would give even more credence to AEW. And I would love to see it. Now, to answer the original question, do I think Edge is going to go? I'm leaning 60-40 yes. I think he will. I think Christian has gotten in his ear. I think he sees the the good creativity and wanting to be part of that, and also maybe seeing some of the problems that have kind of developed over the years and going, how can I help make this better? That's the kind of guy that Edge is. And I think it'd be good. The question is, would he be Adam Copeland or would he be Sexton Hardcastle? Or maybe somehow he'll be Edge. Who knows?
What about if he approaches the guy from U2 and tries to get the copyright
Edge
for The Edge?
Oh.
You know, like how smart would that be?
That'd be fucking smart. But only time will tell.
Now, Tom, I didn't save you for last because you're least. I saved you for last on purpose because generally you can have a very salient opposing take from both Beef and Poot. And I'm curious to see if you feel the same way that they do here, or if you do have an opposing take on this.
Look at MC Ransom doing things the smart way. I like it.
I feel like this is one of those situations where everybody wants to believe that he's going to go to AEW, and the internet darlings and everybody want to have their nostalgia pop and have a reunion of Edge and Christian. I'm not against that, but to me, Edge doesn't really have anything else that he has to prove to me. I've seen him do everything, and I would have no problem if he decided that he's hanging it up. I think it's really a 50-50 split. I don't think it's more heavy towards he'll go that way, because I remember listening back to whenever Edge was forced to retire because of his neck injuries and stuff, and everybody, myself included, thought, well, that's it. We're never going to see him again. He's never going to be inside a WWE ring again wrestling. And lo and behold, thankfully, with the modern medicine, what it is and everything like that, we got another good last couple of years with Edge in the WWE again, and looking phenomenal and performing phenomenally, and as always being able to tell great stories in the ring and everything like that. But I remember him saying that way back then, after the injury and stuff, he said, I remember him saying, I lived my dream. I don't want to be one of those guys that hangs around too long after, my welcome. I don't want to wear out my welcome. I don't want to be one of those guys. So I really don't know. As far as, do I think he'll go to AEW? It's really, like I said, it's really a 50-50 shot, because I think there's some other people that we thought that were WWE lifers, like a Mark Henry or like Big Show. Granted, they're not wrestling, but they're there in the company and they're involved and they're, working in, some sort of creative capacity or working with the talent, imparting their wisdom and stuff like that. It surely would be beneficial for somebody like Edge, who by all accounts has been lauded as one of the best in-ring psychologists by his peers. So it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if he went to AEW. Do I think that he needs to be like in the ring if he goes to AEW? No, not necessarily. He could very much work a behind the scenes sort of thing, or he could work in like a managerial capacity, and you could see him on screen or something like that. But I don't think he needs to be in there wrestling. I think that would probably be the expectation of him if he goes there, because immediately people's thoughts go to, Edge and Christian teaming up, and the Hardys are there. So let's get that nostalgia fix again. But man, I'm kind of in the mindset of I'm perfectly fine if he doesn't go, because we got lucky in the fact that we got him back when we did, for as long as we did just now. That, we got that, a nice little last bit of a run out of him. I don't want to see him get hurt or anything like that. But I think it's really a 50-50 shot at this point. It's really, really hard to say. And that's just one of those things that, Edge is going to have to sit down with Beth and figure it out and talk it out. I mean, and it's comes down to the dollars and cents too. Is Tony Khan? Tony Khan's got fuck you type of money. I'm sure he'd be willing to throw, a lot of money at the wall, but at what cost? If that's going to, there's younger talent out there that he could sign or, possibly miss out on because he signs this, this wrestling legend here. So, I mean, it's really too close to call at this point. It's just a wait and see sort of thing. And as far as the, would he be Adam Copeland? Would he be Sexton Hardcastle? I would think if he goes to AEW, as hilarious as it would be for him to be Sexton Hardcastle, I think we'd see him with the Adam Copeland name. I don't think there's any way that you get the Edge moniker or anything like that, because I guarantee you WWE has that like fucking tied up in so much legal red tape. There's like almost no way to undo it. I mean, fuck, look how long it took Cody to get his last name finally, So that's my take.
You make a wonderful point about the being thankful to get the time that we got, because fucking 10 years ago, however long it's been, 15 probably, we thought that was it, like that we saw the last match of Edge, and like we were all like much like with Bryan Danielson, like we were all like, fuck, this sucks, a career cut short too soon for a bright young superstar. But yeah, man, we absolutely need to be thankful. I know his last run, the last couple years, hasn't been perfect, but I think he's helped get a lot of young talent over.
Well, that's the thing too, is like when he came back, I didn't think they were going to put a world title strap on him by any means, but he was definitely there to help get the younger talent over. So I feel like his run here in this last couple of years has been exactly what it needed to be, and he hasn't looked sloppy at all or anything like that. My concern is, while again, while it would be neat and it would be cool to see him in AEW, and it'd be a big shock factor. Like, holy fuck, there he goes. Although with the way the internet is, like everybody's speculating it almost makes it seem like it's a foregone conclusion. So the pop of it, the surprise might not be as great as we expect. But at the same time, like I kind of don't want him to go there and just like kind of have a meh sort of usage or anything like that. We can debate that later on or anything like that. But I don't know.
I feel you.
I feel like for all that he's done these last couple of years in WWE, that he definitely didn't need titles. He was already over, so it's not like he had to get over anymore. Judgment Day booking aside, with he's heel, but then they kick him out, and then that sort of weirdness that happened, but eventually turned into something kind of cool. That aside, man, I'm happy with what we got out of him, and I just whatever makes him happiest. That's all I'll say.
So the one thing I'll say is I don't think that everybody wants him to go to AEW. In fact, I think that's probably a majority that wants to see him either like finish on his terms, like he should have, basically finish on his terms, or just have rare appearance with the WWE and not tarnish his WWE reputation with an AEW appearance. That would be, let's be honest, probably spotty at best. They probably hit him hard when he first comes in, and then might fade away for a little bit. And I have my reservations, but I think that there's enough really exciting things for him to do in AEW that I think it'd be exciting. But yeah, I don't think the majority of people want him to go to AEW. I think that some of the internet marks like myself, you're like, yeah, man, let's fucking see it, let's go. But like, I think again, I feel like a lot of people want him to kind of stay put and stay loyal to the Fed. Ransom, what about your take? We haven't heard from you, buddy. And you're a big edgehead.
He is
like
the
myself,
edgehead of the group.
I mean, I'm a pretty big Edge fan too, but yeah, Ransom's definitely an Edge guy through and through. So, what do you think, there, Pally boy?
I mean, I feel like I'm torn, kind of like all of us. Whether he goes or not, I have no idea. I have no prediction. I have no guess. I have no idea. I agree with the statement of, I wouldn't want him to tarnish his reputation or to see like the very last thing he does be lackluster and to kind of like fizzle out. Like, I don't want him to go out with a whimper instead of going out with a scream. On the other hand, if we were to get some Edge and Christian tag team action over in AEW, oh man, with some of the teams that they have over there, the Bucks, Ray Phoenix, and what's his name? Penta, those guys, the Bucks, FTR. I mean, hell, I think a program between Edge and Christian and it's glad we're picking AEW since I don't know jack shit about them. The tag team champs, the Scissor Me Daddy.
The Acclaimed.
Man, a program between Edge and Christian and the Acclaimed, I think, would be more entertaining than technical.
Oh.
But I think the entertainment level of that would probably be off the charts. But then again, like, it's all about whether Tony's going to use him right. And I have this little like Tiny Ransom in the back of my head who's got his fear cap on. He's poking me and he's like, hey man, what if everybody turns on him? Like, what if he goes to AEW and they're excited for a cup of coffee? And then they're like, oh, another WWE has been being pushed by AEW. Like, we want the younger talent. We want, like, why are you here? You're stealing the spotlight. What are you doing?
I
don't want that to happen.
I don't think Edge will ever be considered a has-been. I don't.
I don't think that as well. But like, I can see the AEW darlings, Kyle Stans, whatever they're called, being like, oh, it's just another WWE guy that AEW is bringing in. Like, oh, look, they're taking time away from homegrown talent to feature this guy on TV. We only have so much TV time. Why is he on TV? I don't want him to get any sort of like go away heat. If they're a heel team, Edge and Christian, fine. Like, if they have Edge and Christian heat, fine. But if they have like, we don't want you here heat, I don't want that. I don't want him to go out like that.
Fucking good heat. Like,
so it's
5-second pose heat.
Well, if the stupid fucking Hardys still get these stupid fucking pops by all these fucking mouth breathers, yeah,
well, that's a good point.
They would. I think that, but here's the thing, man. What they're doing with Christian right now is fucking top of the heap, man.
Yeah, man.
He wrestles once in a blue moon. He's a mouthpiece for Luchasaurus, but he's walking around like he won the title. He's walking around acting like he's a champion. Like, everything that Christian is doing right now at this moment is very, very good. And how they're treating him is very, very good. If they brought Edge in on a similar role, to kind of Tom's point here about him wrestling or not, if they brought Adam Copeland in as a guy who was on TV, but maybe like Sting, for example, wrestled maybe once every couple of months on Dynamite, but like when you saw the pay-per-views, you know that Adam Copeland was going to be there. Like, that's a smart way to play it. Tony Khan's a lot of things. He's a rookie booker, but he gets it, man.
A fucking rooker,
he
if
get-
you will.
a Rooker, yeah, a Michael Rooker, if you will. He is he's very much a rookie booker, but he also is a guy that understands business. And, that's why Sting hasn't been overexposed. That's why Billy Gunn hasn't been overexposed. That's why people still flock for them. He knows that he can use up a guy like Jeff Hardy to get the little pops here and there, because he knows that Jeff Hardy's not going to be an investment in his future. A guy like Jay Rizzo, wrestling fucking 7-8 times a year, he could be around for the next fucking 10 years. Like, this thing could be around for fucking 2 or 3 more years. This fucking shit that he's in, Jesus. But like, I'm saying, like, so I think if they give Adam a sweetheart deal like that, I think that they'd be okay.
I agree. I agree with your point.
But
so we're done with this. I'm gonna go ahead and yes.
I gotta say something. It was Tom Rapoot said it about Edge and Christian and the Hardys. By no means, by no means in any fucking parallel universe should the Hardys and Edge and Christian ever have a match where they are against each other ever again.
No.
It's not because I don't respect them. Absolutely. They fucking blazed away for some of the most incredible tag teams in the world. But right now, Jeff Hardy's an absolute shit show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Edge has had his problems. Christian's had his problems. I don't want one of them having their career or worse ended by sloppy Jeff Hardy.
Oh,
you want to
yeah.
you want to put the 4 of them on together in like an 8-man team? That's fine. That's cool. All right, nostalgia, haha. But by no means should we ever see Edge and Christian versus the fucking Hardys ever again.
Well, and that's the thing. That wasn't me sitting there pining, for
right.
It. That was me just going, the amount of mouth breathers that, as Beef said, mouth breathers that would pop.
Oh yeah.
For it.
Oh my God, yeah. But I would hope that Jay and Adam would be like, no, bruh. Like we ain't doing no more ladder matches, man.
Nope.
No. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the moderator torch over here to the legend himself. We have AEW All In to pick. It's a stacked card. There's a lot of picks going down, and only one man has the capacity to handle the insanity of this podcast when it comes to moderating picks, and that man is Beef the Legend. Beef, the floor is yours.
Nice intro. I got the flux capacity even. All right, so. You've mentioned that a couple times that like, oh, that's a big card. Oh, this is a really big card for AEW. It's a big,
it's pretty big card.
Matches. It's 11 matches, but I mean, like, WrestleManias before they did 2 nights were routinely 11 matches. So like, and especially since 2 of them are going to be on the pre-show. And I mean, this is going to be a.
Pardon fucking me.
Well, I'm just kind of.
I'm taking the moderator back. I take back everything good I said. Tom, you handle it. You're better than Beef. He sucks.
Hey, thanks. Back to my original job.
Hurtful. No, but like, I think that. And here's the other thing that I want to say before we get to picks. I think that everyone's like, "Oh my God, what terrible booking!" All right, listen.
Goodness.
Go back and watch WrestleMania 1. Go back and watch WrestleMania 2. Go back and watch WrestleMania 3. WrestleMania 1, the main event, the heavyweight title wasn't even defended. It was Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff. They did their best to make a spectacle. And I think that's what that is what Tony Khan has put together. Has he put together some fucking banger matches? Abso-fucking-lutely. But he's also put together some matches that were like, huh, all right. And I think what it does is it's if you remember in the early days of AEW, we always talked about how good of a job that they did at kind of pivoting styles. Like no one match was the exact same as the last match. Like they did a lot of different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what this card is going to be a lot of. I think this card is going to be a wrestling buffet. And I looking up and down the card, I don't think there's a bad match on it. Are there things that would have done differently? Absolutely, absolutely. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay not being at this match is a fucking crime. But
Yeah.
I get it. And rumor is they were fucking planning for Danielson versus Omega at this, which would have been even bigger. But regardless, like, yes, absolutely would I have done different things? Yes. But I think that they've kind of hit a spot where it's going to be a big, fun event with 90,000, soccer hooligans chanting and singing. I think it's going to be something to behold, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Will Ospreay is going to get the reception of a fucking lifetime.
Yeah, man. The real crime, the real fucking crime is Zack Sabre Jr. not being on this card. But that's just me being better. Okay, so before we run the matches, I'm going to go through the standings very quickly. Tom currently leads with 75 points, followed by Jimmy with 74, our current Cruiserweight champion, by 2A, followed by Pat with 72. The logjam in third still continues, just not with me in there. We have Dave, Amber, and Ryuk at 70, myself at 67, Ransom at 54, and Poot at 46.
Yeah, loserweight champion.
Don't get excited, Poot. Don't get excited. I couldn't even remember the name of the Acclaimed. I am coming for that spot. Don't even think that you're going to scoot away in this quarter, being like, "Yeah, I got the big loser."
Oh,
no way, buddy.
I'm gonna Poot Skadoot away with that win.
No, you're not.
Good,
Nope.
dude. We can too.
Good.
Nope.
Good news or bad news, depending on what side of the fence you're on. Just because of the way that things are falling, I think we're going to go ahead and include All Out and Payback next weekend as part of quarter 3. So this is not the end.
Oh, it's the end. I'm coming for you,
There's
Poot.
going to be a doubleheader next time. And then but with 11 matches, it's going to go a long fucking way. So,
oh boy.
Here are your matches. Listen up, Slapnuts.
I don't know why you bother going through them all. You have to repeat it anyway.
I know.
And someone's
True.
going to ask, too, like me, because I have the memory of a goldfish.
It's okay, I forgive you.
I mean, just do it. You could just go. I mean, we can just go through one at a time. It's 11 matches to go through beforehand, and then just to repeat them is a lot. So, I mean,
That's fair. You know what? You have a point. All right, let's do it. On the pre-show, we will have Aussie Open, which is Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis defending the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships against the Bromance of the Summer, MJF and Adam Cole, baby. Ransom, go first.
Reverse.
That's not how. Okay, fine.
Reverse.
Okay,
Go
that's
for it.
fine. I'll take it. I'll fall on the sword here. I like. So this goes one of a couple of ways. Either MJF and Cole win this in like the whole like good friends, better allies, bitter enemies thing that has been done to death a little bit, but also is still fun. And they have the Ring of Honor tag team titles for a romp. I don't see it going down that way. The other option is that somehow, some way, some shit happens, and one of them hits the other one, and that sparks a little bit of like a for the main event. I like Aussie Open here. They just won those titles at whatever the last Ring of Honor event was. So this is pretty new. They're an awesome tag team. Get used to hearing the words Aussie Open because they're going to be showing up on Dynamite or Collision very, very soon. But yeah, I like Aussie Open here. I like him for 7 points, and I like to hear what Poot has to think about it.
I'm actually I've thought about this, and as I watched the replay of Dynamite from this week, I Man, Aussie Open's so good. Man, Aussie Open is so good. Man, they're great. The thing that I thought in my head long term was I'm like, MJF and Adam Cole win this. Adam Cole wins the belt. And then the thing is, MJF has to show, is he really Adam Cole's friend? Now they're carrying the belts. And, he's Adam Cole, Adam Two Belts. And they have to cooperate together. And he has to be happy for his friend. And like they could go that route with it. Or like Beef said, there's some chicanery where MJF and Adam Cole have some kind of like miscommunication. And that leads to more heat during the main event. And then that leaves it kind of open. But for this, I'm actually going to go one above on this. I think Aussie Open winning in Wembley just makes sense. Plus, also, if MJF and Adam Cole win the Raw belts, they have to go and be on Raw. And I don't see that happening. So or they would have to at least be regulars on Raw. Nothing against Ring of Honor, but like, yeah, I think Aussie Open retains here. One way or another.
How many points would you like to put on that?
Oh, yeah, 8. Sorry. I'm putting 8. 8.
He did say one above. So
yeah, I said one above.
Okay,
yeah, that was my bad.
Sorry.
I didn't finish my thought there.
You're good, man.
So 8
Ransom?
on Aussie Open. Oi, oi, oi.
Points, total points that we have?
11.
Up to 11.
Up to 11.
Yeah, I don't know how this is going to go down with MJF and Cole. Like, I really don't. But I don't know that it makes sense to put the belts on them, even if they are going to stay friends after the match. So I'm going to put 11 points on Aussie Open.
Damn it, Ransom.
Oi, oi, oi.
Well, much like my compadre here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also putting 11 points on Aussie Open because I can't see a world in where, like Beef mentioned, that they just got those Ring of Honor World Tag Team championships, and I think it makes for better storyline going into the main event with MJF and Adam Cole, that they lose this match and that way it builds some animosity. I mean, it's now I haven't obviously, don't get to follow the weeklies or whatever, but I did listen to MJF on the town hall that they had on Busted Open. There you go, Ransom. There's your one reference there.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, because I don't have any other wrestling podcasts I listen to regularly, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
But it was actually really good. And the more I listened to it, the more I thought that it builds towards MJF turning on Adam Cole. Because if you listen to him, which it was a really great, sit down with him, and they kind of went through MJF getting the start of his career and everything like that. And getting signed to AEW and everything like that, and talking, and he said, he's like, people think about like, when it comes to me and Adam Cole, he's like, they think like, oh yeah, we hang out at TV and then that's it or whatever. He's like, no, this dude's my best friend. He's my brother, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, is he just playing the part right now? Like, I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. I really am, because he's so damn good at being a fucking pisshead asshole that everybody loves to hate. He's so damn good. He's better than you, and you know it. So I don't know how. I don't know how it's going to shake down later on, but I think for this match in particular, you got to have Aussie Open retain and build the animosity towards the main event. So yeah, 11 points, Aussie Open. You heard it here.
And like, I can't wait to talk about that match on Earth, because this match has been booked perfectly. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move on. Jack Perry defends the FTW title against Hook. I'm a little shocked they didn't bring back RVD. Especially seeing as they managed to insert Christian into the card. I'm a little shocked that we didn't get the return of Rob Van Dam, but I'm okay with this. Two young guys. I wish they were on the main card. But yeah, Jack Perry defends the title against Hook. It doesn't say it's FTW rules. I don't know if every FTW match is inherently FTW rules. I don't know. But yeah, Pootski, what do you think?
Yeah, hi everyone, it's me, Future Poot. While I was editing the podcast, I realized I didn't have my microphone on whenever I did my pick for this, so I picked Hook for 5. That's it. Thanks everybody, bye!
Ransom.
Hell, I don't know. How long has he had that belt? It's been a minute.
Like a month, maybe.
Ooh. I don't have any other reason other than I think it's too soon to hotshot it. So I'm gonna go Jack Perry for 3.
All right, Tom.
Yeah, this is also one that I'm not super sure on how they would do it, because I feel like on one hand, Ransom's right, like it'd be too soon to hot potato that. But, and I say this in regards to the other titles in AEW that hold a little bit more weight, it is only the FTW championship. You know what I mean? It's not the world championship. It's not the trios championship. It's not the tag titles. It's not even the fucking All Atlantic, or what are they calling it now? The international. What the hell do they call that now? The international.
Yeah.
The international championship. Yeah. I mean, fuck. They hot potatoed the TNT title. You know, within like what was that? Oh my god, I can't even think now. Wardlow won it, then fucking Powerhouse Hobbs won it, or whatever. I can't remember, but I remember there
Ricky
was.
Starks had it for a while.
Yeah, but I'm saying there was a point where they literally hot potatoed it like within a period of like 24 to 48 hours, did they not? Or a week or something like that. There was something where Wardlow had it, then it went missing, then Hobbs beat him for it or something. Did they not? I mean, I know I'm not living a fever dream.
That sounds about right.
So I don't know. This is going to seem like a very unrelated question, but it is in my mind, and I'll tell you why in a second. Are the Aussie Open heels or faces?
Heels.
All right, then I'm going. Then I'm going to go Hook for 4 points. Got to have that 50-50 booking, man. Even on the pre-show.
So, I believe that kind of the inverse of Poot here. I think that Hook is now a big enough deal and will be a big enough deal that he can eat some pins. This heel turn from Jack Perry is still very new, and it's still in its burgeoning phase. I think that there are going to be some titles that change hands on a hot shot on this card. Not to put too fine of a point on it. I don't think that this is going to be one of them. I think that Jack Perry needs this win to stay strong as a heel. I think that you want him to continue his like bad guy persona, and I don't know how you do it with making Hook look strong again. That's going to be tough. And it may just be that Hook eats a clean pin and that's that. But I don't believe that. Would not shock me if we see some sort of other interference. Hell, I would pop like hell if we saw Taz come down and cost his son the title. I think that would be something interesting. But I like Jack Perry here. Give me Jack Perry 4 points. Darby Allin and Sting take on Swerve Strickland and AR Fox. Oh wait, no, it's Christian Cage.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pissed because so AR Fox not even I think it was at the last Row event. AR Fox turned heel and joined the Mogul Embassy, and I'm like, man, what a fit! Like him and Swerve and Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. I'm like, this is a good stable.
And boy, can he go! Boy, can he go!
And what a great place for AR Fox to be. Like, the dude doesn't have much of a character, but Swerve has character in spades. Like, let those two pal around. So I was bummed last night, and I don't think, well, it's not my pick, so I'm not going to go into it. But anyway, I'm a little upset that they took, AR Fox out. But
why did they do that?
I'll talk about it. It's Ransom's pick, though. I'm not going to step on the man's toes.
I have no idea what's happening. What is this match again? Say it again.
It's Darby Allin and Sting versus Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match, tag team coffin match.
Okay. Well, you know what they say. 3 points.
I think you already used
yes, that old chestnut. 3 points.
You did use the 3 points, and you have to pick a winner. Like, that's important.
Yeah, for 4, I guess.
Okay, 4. For whom? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, pick a winner. Well, probably the
audience,
the team that wins.
CBD.
Let's go with the winners for 4 points.
Look at this guy jumping through loopholes.
Hey,
go with TBD.
I got nothing else fucking idea.
Go with TBD.
No, it's not even a reliable thing. Fucking hell. Darby Allin and Sting, because I don't fucking know. For 4 points. Beef's sitting on info. I'm sure after I hear this info, I'll be like, oh, okay. But since I got nothing, I'm gonna go with 4 points with Sting and Derby.
It's not real info. It's my fucking Beef as Doc Brown, crazy man with the fucking wild-eyed crazy man theory. So
fucking Tom Marty.
The frogs were gay from the start.
So I'll let you step on my toes a little bit. Why was AR Fox replaced? Is it travel issues, an injury,
no,
okay?
Nothing.
Wait.
Nothing.
So Tom gets the knowledge before his pick.
You could have asked the question. No, so what I'm going to say is going to make sense whenever I say it.
Fucking rude.
I just didn't want to, I don't want to talk all night. Anyway, no, it wasn't. As far as I know,
liar.
Tom,
anyway,
please.
It wasn't injury related. It wasn't travel visa related, anything like that. I think that they just wanted Christian Cage to be part of the event.
Okay.
I would have changed my pick.
Fucking Herbert getting the sack. Damn.
I was waiting. I was good. Oh my lord.
Yeah, in your face.
Wow.
I've had a little bit of rum, so we're gonna get a little.
Guys, we're going off the rails here. We're talking about football and burping.
Fucking let's fucking pick, man. I did my pick. I picked those guys for that point. Fucking guy.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Darby and Sting. That Beef's information or a lack thereof didn't really alter my pick. But I'm feeling very confident on that. I'm gonna put 9 points on it.
Fucking hell.
That's a little confident. I keep typing Stong. Stong.
Song. Darby and Stongs.
Stong.
You gotta have that Stong style. Go in the ring and have that Stong style.
Stong, bing bong.
All right. So I think it's dumb, but so in Dynamite,
Huh?
they had Darby and Sting come out. So basically, the Mogul affiliates, Mogul Embassy, lost the match. Swerve basically dresses down AR Fox, beats him up. Then Brian Cage comes out and beats him up too. Clearly, it's a turn from the Mogul Embassy onto AR Fox. Then out come Sting and Darby to like even the score, and like they stand up and AR Fox is standing with them, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And I'm like, "This is fucking dumb." The first thing I thought is that I bet you any money AR Fox is involved in some chicanery because Prince Nana and Luchasaurus are going to be out there for Christian and Swerve. I think AR Fox might come out to try and like even the sides, and then it's like, haha, just kidding. I'm still with the Mobile Embassy, you dumb bitches.
Dumb.
That's kind of a forced swerve. No pun intended. But like I think that might actually happen. That said, I don't see that happening until after the match is over. Because I just don't see Sting and Darby losing. You don't pay Sting to come over, wrestle halfway around the world for him to lose. I don't even know if the Stinger's ever wrestled in the United Kingdom. So like, I don't think that Sting will lose here. So I'm taking Darby and Sting 5 points. But yeah, I think we see some AR Fox chicanery at some point. Poot ski.
Well, I think I thought the same thing, Beef, whenever I watched Dynamite. I was like, okay, this is, he
popped right up and all of a sudden they're like buddy, and I'm like, man,
that was supposed to be the way I think they were starting to frame that was like the fact that it's like, okay, we're letting real life come in, guys. We're breaking kayfabe here. We're like, but I think that they might do something similar, but I think what they're going to do is there's going to be there's going to be a little bit of a like, okay, it was all supposed to be a swerve, haha, from the start, and he's gonna mess around. I think he'll have that change of heart. He'll go to hit Darby or something, and he'll be like, fuck. You know what I mean? And he'll end up sticking with them. I think that's what it'll be. But I'm not super confident on that. So I'm going to put my 2-pointer on Sting and Darby.
Yes.
Right on, man. Oh, you said 2 points? That was a question?
What did you say?
I said 2 points.
You said 2 points?
Yeah,
okay,
2.
Cool.
He got 2.
You got 2. Stadium Stampede match. Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Penta El Zero Miedo versus the Blackpool Combat Club, which is Joe Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Willie Yuta, and
LAX, baby.
Proud and Powerful. Santana and Ortiz have returned. Thank the good Lord above. So, Stadium Stampede. We know what this is going to be. Hopefully a Wild Thing gets played for fucking 20 minutes again. God. I really hope that's just like a thing now with these like fucking wild matches that it just fucking goes. I hope it happens. I I don't know if this is going to be pre-recorded in Wembley, like before the crowd comes in. I don't know if they're going to try and do like a different state. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. We'll see. But Stadium Stampede matches are always fun. They're always a blast. So I'm the great personalities here. Tom, who you got here?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't the last time whenever they did Stadium Stampede or Anarchy in the Arena or Your Sister's Ass, whatever it's called? They fucking there's reference 2 for you. Didn't they do a thing where when they kept playing Wild Thing, was it like Jericho that fucking smashed somebody into like the sound thing and told him like shut the fucking music off or something?
That was the first time that happened. The last time it happened is whenever the band was playing it live and they like took the fight onto the stage and took out the band in the middle of the fight.
Okay. Gotcha. I could see them doing like a bit of a pre-recorded thing and then it kind of spilling out into a live thing to the ring or something like that. I don't know how they were going to work it, but I'm sure it's going to be fun regardless. In the case of this though, fuck, I don't know. Give me Blackpool Combat Club. I don't have a real reason behind it, just because I got a gut feeling. And I'm going to put... It's not a strong gut feeling. I think... I'll put 6 points on it.
Yeah, man, I'm excited because like I understand that this is a big event, and I understand that there's some gimmicks happening here, and that a lot of people are like, John Moxley's just gonna fucking bleed all over the place. Whatever, man. It's fucking fun every time it happens. Every time I see Blackpool Combat Club involved in one of these, it's a blast. Whether it be Stadium Stampede, Anarchy in the Arena, whatever the fuck ever, man. It is always a good time. It's always fun to watch. And like, yes, it's not going to be fucking, Hart versus Austin at WrestleMania 13, nor fucking should it be. It's going to be fun, and that's what wrestling should be. It's fun. I'm a little bummed that Ray Phoenix isn't going to be part of it. I think that he would have probably had some fucking insane, crazy spots. That said, I get why he's not. I'm a little confused why Santana and Ortiz, mostly Ortiz, are siding against Eddie Kingston. Like that's other than, well, the Blackpool Combat Club needed some extra people on their side. Like Ortiz is allegedly one of Eddie Kingston's best friends. And now he's basically got 2 best friends on one side and he's teaming with one of his best friends. So tough times for Eddie Kingston. But I don't think you let Santana and Ortiz lose here. Not with their return. And let's be honest, like, with all due respect, this group of Eddie Kingston, Penta, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends are like the lovable loser club, with the exception of Orange Cassidy, who's the only one that's really been successful in AEW. All of the rest of them have been there to eat pins. So, like, as much as I love Eddie Kingston, as much as I love, fucking Cassidy and God knows I love fucking Penta, I gotta think that Blackpool Combat Club gets another big victory here. I'm putting 6 points on BCC as well. Poot?
Oh, this is BCC's match. Like, it just is. And with the addition of Santana and Ortiz, man, I love it. I love it. I love seeing them back. The Rogues Gallery that the Blackpool Combat Club is facing, I love them. I like every single one of them is absolutely dynamite. And Penta is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But again, I think bringing back Santana Ortiz and having them lose in a match immediately, even if they don't eat the pins, I think that's kind of a misnomer, and I think that would be kind of foolish. I am going to go 10 points on the Blackpool Combat Club.
Damn, Daniel.
Shit. Ransom?
I'm taking that loser weight.
Fuck you, Poos. I do love a good piece of Italian steel, but thank you. I can't foresee the Blackpool Combat. Like, there's no reason the Blackpool Combat Club, this team, especially with LAX coming back. I don't care. I'm a fun call them LAX. Do what you want with me. I don't see. There's no point for them to lose to this menagerie of who's who on this other team. It's just no. Blackpool Combat Club for the win. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, 7 points.
I like the kind of Spanish. That was good. Zero miedo. Yeah, man. Good. And like I said, I think more importantly, it's just gonna be a big fuck you of a match, and I'm here for every bit of it.
Look, if it's pre-recorded, I really think that I think whoever said it, it'll be partially pre-recorded, and then I think it ends in the actual like people-filled stadium and in the ring, because I just don't think that you take this many people in Wembley with this historic of an event and have this whole match pre-taped. Like, I don't think that would do. I think we watching it would like it no matter what, but I think that could be a real cool down for the crowd if they have to watch this entire match on a screen.
Right.
So whether it's all in front of the crowd or partially, I can't see this being a completely pre-recorded segment, because I think that takes a lot of fire out of the crowd, and I think that would be a real big mistake.
I just like the Stadium Stampede has always traditionally been like them just fucking going crazy in a big stupid fucking football stadium.
And just spot after spot after spot.
Right. And like I don't see a way that they can like do like the pre-record and then like other than like, well, they started fighting yesterday and they've been fighting for fucking 24 hours. Like, there's just no way
I mean,
that I can.
They could do something like real wacky. Like, they could have them like start fighting in the empty arena, and then it winds up in some sort of like goofy ass car chase, and then the car chase, like, they leave the arena in a car chase, and then it comes back live, and the cars come flying back into the arena, and they're fighting. You know, there's a lot of wacky ways. I mean, it's a fucking Stadium Stampede or arena barista, whatever the fucking call it match. There's a lot of wacky things they could do to have it start empty and wind up filled. I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. Either way, I think it needs to be at least partially in front of the crowd.
I wonder if it's not going to be more of an anarchy in the arena match as opposed to a Stadium Stampede. I think that they probably just wanted to call it the Stadium Stampede because it's Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see. Either way, regardless, I don't think we're going to be disappointed at all.
No.
Speaking of disappointment, though,
no. Is this the
Will
Punk match?
Ospreay. No.
I thought it was going to be the
disappointment
match. Wow.
Will Ospreay takes on Chris Jericho.
This is where I think they had a big miss.
Yeah, not the match I would have went with. Not the match I would have went with, is I think what I want to say at this point. I guess it's my pick, so I can kind of elaborate. I just feel like, why? Like, maybe you got 3-4 more years out of Ospreay, and this is.
Oh, he's that old?
No, but he has fucking lived dog years, man. Like
okay.
He put out that we talked about it earlier this year. Him putting out that video talking about how like he doesn't know how much longer it's gonna be, but like he's all in for the final run.
I mean, when you wrestle as hard and as fast as he does, I mean, it's
sure. And like he mitigated his style.
Drive fast, leave a pretty corpse.
He mitigated his style for much of the year. Well, actually, for most of the last couple of years, he really tried to become like a heavyweight. But now, like this year, he's brung back the aerial assassin. he brought back the moniker, he brought back the music, he brought back the style, which tells me that he's like, fuck it, like everything I'm doing to try and be better isn't fucking working. So very much like a fucking like Tony Stark and Iron Man 2 kind of thing. Let's fucking go.
The worst part is that I strongly disagree with that attitude. If it's his attitude, he's been doing fucking great.
He has been, but apparently it hasn't. It hasn't been paying dividends. So it's like, fuck it, let's just fucking go. Let's see what happens.
Oh man,
Do the thing.
So I think that there were so many more. Sammy Guevara would have been a better match for Will Ospreay than Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
what a
God,
match
yes.
that would have been.
Like in
Where the
my
hell is
ear,
Sammy Guevara on this card, anyways? Why the fuck do we get Christian
he's probably
Cage?
gonna be. Yeah, he's probably gonna be cornering Chris Jericho if I had to guess.
Well, okay, so riddle me this, enlighten me, since it is your pick and you are elaborating on this, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with the whole everybody the vote of lack of confidence with the Jericho Appreciation Society?
Oh, it's done. They all
done?
they all walked out on him except for Sammy. Sammy said, "I'm gonna walk out on the Jericho Appreciation Society, but I'll never walk out on you as a friend." So
Okay.
basically, Sammy's had his back as a friend, but everybody else walked out on him as the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Oh,
Okay.
poor Jake Hager. He's not going to have anything to do now that he's not carrying Jericho's coattails.
So you're
And then-
saying he's going to be stuck in the mid card.
he's gonna be stuck in the no card.
We the people.
Match. He'll go back to mixed martial arts.
But
He actually did well. He did well in MMA. Sorry, Beef.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, you're good. No, and I mean the hell of it is that not only is this match not the best match on paper, but it wasn't built well. It just wasn't built well. The whole thing was kind of silly. So
Silly.
I don't know, man. I feel like this match could
Silly match.
surprise. I feel like this match could surprise a lot of people because it's going to be low expectations all around. I don't think that there's going to be one person out there that expects this to be a decent match, and I think it's going to be, because Ospreay's Ospreay, and I think that Jericho still has that dog in him when he needs it to be. And in front of 90,000 people, I think he's going to bring his fucking best. That said, there is no reason in the fucking world that Will Ospreay should lose this match. I honestly feel like Will Ospreay talked about becoming a free agent sooner than later. I think that he's absolutely going to be an AEW guy. But there is zero reason for Will Ospreay to lose this match. So give me Will Ospreay 11 points.
Damn, Daniel.
Oh,
Damn you, Beef. You took my 11. It's absolutely going to be Will Ospreay. If it would have been him and Omega, would have been a harder call for me. But because it's him and Jericho, this is not that. Now listen, Will Ospreay has had a hell of a career. He has done a lot of very fucking neat things, and he has done a lot of very high profile good things. His reputation precedes him. And I know you might roll your eyes at this, but getting the rub from Jericho in his home country on the grandest stage that AEW has ever been on. This is it. This is it. This is Will Ospreay's fucking coming out party. This is him being cemented into an upper echelon. This is him being initiated into a fucking club. We will remember the name Will Ospreay and speak on it very fondly. And I think this is a keynote thing. 11 points, Will Ospreay.
Fucking Poot's got me ready to run through a wall. That was great, man.
I don't. As Ransom says, I've got that silver tongue, man. It's been kind of not so shiny lately, but we've been shining that sumbitch back up. Yeah.
Ransom, who you got?
Did I use my 11 already?
You have, yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to apologize because I'm going to be asking you about this because it's fucking 11 points. I'm not going to keep track of all this shit. I don't write stuff down in a little fucking notebook like some people.
I mean, hurtful, but it's the truth, and it's the way I keep track. So,
hey, man, you do you, I do me. I know I'm going to lose, so there's no point in me keeping track. I got no fucking shot. I'm a better advocate than I am a champion. I'm a better Paul Heyman than I am a Brock Lesnar, son. Oh, God, I can't compare myself to either one of those.
Sure you can.
Fuck. Yeah, look, it's got to be Will Ospreay. Everybody who has talked already has said it. It makes no sense for Jericho to lose. I do agree that while Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay would have been a better match, bar none, I think still, even with people dumping on him, even people calling him dumpy looking Jericho or old or has been or washed up, people can take all the pot shots in the world they want to at Chris Jericho. The fact of the matter is, any of those people taking pot shots at Chris Jericho are nowhere fucking near Chris Jericho. Anybody on or off this podcast who gets down in the dumps on Jericho, like, oh, why is he still wrestling? Look at him. Oh, he's all fucking dumpy. Look at Chris. He's so slow. He doesn't got any blah, blah, blah. Son, the bottom line is you won't even come within a horizon's distance of being anywhere near fucking Chris Jericho. Like, this dude, I would say this dude's on the mountain. He's on Mount Rushmore wrestlers at this point because of the accomplishments, the longevity, the reinvention. You can't fucking sing this guy's praise enough. I'm not saying that this was the right booking decision for the in-ring quality. I agree. Kenny Omega would have been in-ring much better. But as far as name weight, as far as legend goes, it's fucking Chris Jericho, and the man deserves to have that respect put on him. So I don't besmirch them for doing this. It's a smart call, I think, to have Will Ospreay beat Chris Jericho on the biggest platform that AEW has ever put on in Will Ospreay's home country. That gives a major, major rub to Will Ospreay. If he beats Jericho clean in this match in Wembley, in his own country, the first time AEW has ever been there, the biggest crowd AEW has ever had on, the namesake of All In, it's going to do wonders, I think, for Will Ospreay if he continues a career in AEW. So Will Ospreay, 10 points. Let's go.
LFG. Tom?
It's kind of serendipitous that the Jericho Appreciation Society has ceased to exist now. I think Jack
ladies and
Swagger
gentlemen, our guest on this podcast, Daffy Duck.
I think that Jack Swagger is going to find himself being a backstage roadie for Fozzy. All that said, all that.
Jack Swagger is on stage as Fozzy is playing, moving equipment around with his dumb fucking hat and his big dumb fucking goofy ass lips. Just like that's what he is, fucking guy.
Speaking of which, Fozzie's gonna apparently be playing Judas live.
Yeah, they are. We all know.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Which is,
That's awesome.
It's Jericho just fucking blowing his load.
I've always
Whatever.
wanted to see Stuck Mojo featuring my aunt who's drunk at a wedding perform that song.
Fucking look, hey man, look. I don't want to get anybody in any sort of trouble here. I've had some rum, so I'm going to say it again. Who's in Wembley? Fucking playing a rock show.
No,
it's fucking Chris Jericho and Fozzy.
No,
so,
I agree. I'm just being.
Bands, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying any other person out there. Like, oh, fucking, it's fucking Fozzy. And fucking look, it's just Chris Jericho. Sucking dick. Brr, brr, brr. If there was somebody better, they would have fucking booked him. But they fucking didn't. It's not a reference to Hellbent. It's a reference, like, I'm just saying, like, if there's a
The
better
Manic
like, English fucking rock band, like, I'm not getting down on Poot. Like, I'm not targeting Poot on this. I'm just saying, like, hey, man, if there was a hotter band out there that, AEW would have been like, boy, they're going to draw a lot of money for us, they probably would have fucking booked them.
Well, I also really like Stuck Mojo, and Fozzie's new stuff is fucking great.
I like Fozzy. Anyway, Tom, you were picking, so go ahead.
My
I think you were anyway.
baby.
Something different.
Something different.
Something different.
There was a Fozzy involved one way or another. Fuck you.
It's definitely going to be Will Ospreay for 10 points.
Fucking
Fuck.
Jake Hagar. Jake Hagar's like the anti-Test. Test started as a roadie for Motley Crue and WWE transitioned into a wrestler. Jake Hagar started as a wrestler, is going to transition into a roadie for fucking Fozzy.
I never knew that about Tess. That's interesting.
Yeah, man.
That was like the gimmick.
Yeah, Tess was super fucking cool. Jake Hagar's kind of fucking boring.
They really missed the opportunity back in the day to have like the fucking Lisp squad with like Jake Hagar and fucking Cody Rhodes and there was somebody else that had like some sort of like slight lisp or speech.
Fuck, you could have thrown fucking Matt Morgan in there. And the fucking special needs club.
The Blueprint.
Roll it.
All right, so moving right along, we have
Godzilla.
The first of our title defenses that we're going to talk about.
Wait. Did you say Mothra?
I did.
Thank you. No, okay, sorry. Side note. My Andy's friend Jen, instead of saying God bless you, she says jokingly she'll say Godzilla because it's non-denominational. So my retort, instead, when somebody says God bless you and you say you're welcome, she says Godzilla and I would say Mothra. So it just tickled me a little pink. Thank you.
And you know what I say to all that? Ghidorah, which means fuck you, I'm better. Anyway, we're going to talk about.
You're wrong.
There's a reason that they call him King Ghidorah and it's not King Godzilla. Anyway, the first of our quote unquote title defenses that we're going to see tonight is going to be the real world's champion taking on Samoa Joe. The real world's champion, of course, being CM Punk.
I'm sorry. I love how you just set that up. You're like the real world's champion versus Samoa Joe. Like, you almost had Scott Steiner vibes there and almost went Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. Yeah, so I'll say it again. I like this real world championship vibe. This real world champion vibe. And I think that it's kind of like the de facto collision title.
Hogan did better the first time.
Hogan didn't do it. Flair did it better. If you're gonna come at me with dumbassery, make sure you have that shit fact checked.
The spray painting of the belt, you fucking lord.
I thought you meant the real world's champion because I've said it like 4 times and no one referenced anything.
I did it better. I have the spray painted P3 belt. Fuck y'all.
Anyway, but anyway, I regardless, of how you fucking feel about CM Punk, and I know you fucking idiots want to talk about it. I'm not going to be trying to do a conversation with you because it will not be a civil discourse.
I can't wait till it's my pick. I can't wait. I'm gonna get them all soiled in the pants. He's gonna be so mad.
Oh God, I'm setting my Pepsi down in preparation for that.
Anyway, CM Punk defends the Real World Championship against the Mojo. I like that they're treating this like a real world title. Who's pick? Poots pick.
Poots Skadoo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's gonna stay on Punk. It's gonna stay on Punk. Like Joe. Punk so Punk finally beat Joe. That's done. That's done. Like that 14-year story or whatever the fuck where he never beat Joe, that's done. That's done. Right. I don't see like the point in them starting this story and then not continuing it. Like that's really the end of it. I'm not going to go into like CM Punk chicanery. I'm not going to go into any of that. goofy fucking insanity. I'm not going to go into any of that. I'm not going to, do the thing. Belch. It was my turn. Also, I want it noted, Tom is drinking a Pepsi. CM Punk mark confirmed.
Fucking hell. Here we go. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out and get a fucking Coca-Cola polar bear tattoo just to spite you for that remark.
That's fun. Anyway,
right on my ass so Beef can kiss it afterwards.
All right. That seems like a little bit of a stretch, but hey, knock yourself out. I'm gonna go with CM Punk. I'm only gonna go with 3 on this one because I could see them doing a program where Joe wins and Joe holds it over Punk and they stretch it out, and this is kind of the knock really into Punk's super shit-eating whiny bullshit heel that he should be doing and leaning into all the bad press, which being that character on screen would take the piss out of it, and it would take the fire out of a lot of fucking nonsense that's going on. But I think Punk is going to keep it, and he's going to continue this stream, if not for a little bit. So I'm going CM Punk, 3 points.
Go ahead, Ransom.
I love how
boy.
Go ahead, Ransom. He's so I can feel the vitriol already.
Trap in, fuckers.
Oh, I almost fell down.
Oh my god.
Well, let's just pour another one, shall we? Whew. Okay. Look, I'm not going to get into an argument. We've argued till the cows have come home. Everybody knows how B feels about CM Punk. Everybody knows how I feel about CM Punk. We'll never agree on this dude, ever. And that's okay, because we don't have to agree on him. I love Beef, and that's all there is to it. So in your face, if you thought I was going to make some sort of fight. However, this is the first wrestling match that this fucking weird pulled out of a fucking bag, spray painted fucking AEW title, official, non-official, fuck shit, is going to be defended on. So it doesn't make a whole lot of what, fucking what?
It's already been defended.
I don't care. It's the first time on pay-per-view, is it? The first time on pay-per-view? Oh, yeah, ain't for me. Whatever. Look, are you picking a fight? Yeah, I think it's going to be CM Punk. I don't think it's going to be Samoa Joe. Maybe not yet. Maybe eventually. I think Poot's right. Like CM Punk is the modern day Bret Hart. Not like, carrying the company on his back, but like just fucking whining, bitching, whining. So why not lean into it? Like, why not make it part of his character that all he does is just fucking bitch and whine and moan and bitch and moan and whine, and I'm the fucking real champion and I defended this belt all over the fucking world. Whatever. But let's just say maybe down the line Joe gets the belt. Fake belt? Made up belt? I mean, it has the same legitimacy as the P3 title that is spray painted in my garage. But, yeah. So I'm going to say 1 point for this, and I'm going to go with the Pillsbury Dough bitch, fucking CM, fucking Pudge.
Noted. Tom?
Oh, God. God, it hurts from stifling. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet. CM Punk 8 points.
Damn it. I just put a
Mouthful
tip in
food.
that.
Oh, there we go.
Tom to fucking talk, because that's all fucking Tom does is fucking talk. Anytime you say, Tom, what do you think? I'm like, okay, settle in for fucking 20 minutes. Here we go. The one time I expect him not to. Damn it. All right.
Jeez,
hold on.
Tom, I thought I was the one picking the fight. Not you.
I know,
fucking-
Jesus Christ. Fuck it.
Man.
Okay, well, then, CM Punk.
Do you
can
owe
suck-
him money or something? Or like
CM
what?
Punk can suck my fucking cock, and anybody else in the CM Cuck fan club can do that as well. Does that give you enough time to chew and swallow their beef? Are you good? Are you done? Are you ready? Can you pick? Should I keep talking? Should
No,
I
go
keep
What flavored chips are you eating? Are you eating CM Seaman or CM Seaman flavored potato chips? What you got?
They're my favorite.
Yeah, but they are.
Like it or not, the dude does draw eyes to Collision. And
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, it makes sense for him to continue to hold the Collision Championship. I don't know though. I don't know if they'll always call it the quote unquote real world's title because it doesn't make sense. It does here, but like eventually, as it grows and evolves, it's got to be something different. With that being said, right now I'm here for this. This is a great angle. Genius Barros. I like Punk versus Joe getting another shot at being good. Because the first one in AEW wasn't great.
What a shock.
It was passable, but I don't think anybody expected it to be Punk versus Joe 1 or Punk versus Joe 2. Because that's not who they are. That was fucking like 22 years ago. So, I don't think anybody expects a 5-star match out of these guys. I want a good match, technically sound, with good ring psychology. I think that's up both these guys' alleys. That said, like I said, I don't think CM Punk loses this title yet. I think that there's still a story to be told, and I think that he's going to turn into a heel sooner than later. And I think that this title is part of that. So I'm taking CM Punk with 10 points.
Yeah, Punk's not going to lose in this match. He'll forfeit the title after this match when he inevitably fucking gets hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just about to say how civil of a discourse it was, Ransom, and you ruined it.
Well, we're moving on to
the
the next pick, so it can still be civil.
The 6-man trios title is up for grabs when the House of Black defends against the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn.
What? Billy
Gunn.
Billy Gunn.
I want to hear this playback before. Well, I was gonna say that's not gonna get cut out. But did you call him Billy Cunt?
No, I was trying to pull a chip out of my tooth, and it came out of Billy
Well,
Gunn.
fucking figure out how food in your mouth and microphones work.
Thanks, man. I've been talking and trying to chew. Thank you. So anyway, yeah. The reports of Billy Gunn's retirement have been woefully exaggerated. He's back. I'm here for this. I think it'll be a fun match.
Can I stop you and ask you a question?
You may.
Because I don't keep up on the weeklies, so maybe you have more insight than I do. What was the fucking point of him taking his boots off and leaving them in the middle of the ring, and now he's fucking wrestling again? Was that a swerve? Was that what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
I think it was a. I think it was a. Hey, I'm done. I'm gone. But then, like, the House of Black kept like bearing down on the Acclaimed, and the Acclaimed is continually out of the numbers. So Billy Gunn came back to even the odds.
Okay, gotcha.
Storyline wise, so obviously it was all just kind of to build up for Billy Gunn's big return.
Got it.
Big return.
Yeah, I was gonna say air quotes around big return.
Oh,
Listen.
Anywho, so I like. No, it's not my pick. It is Ransom's pick.
Jesus.
Who's been drinking tonight? Not me.
You're not
The
good
only-
at multitasking, Beef.
wow, fucking shots fired. This pick is only because I would like to see just a little run with these three and the titles. I like the Acclaimed. I am a massive fan of Billy Gunn. I know He's up there in age. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, he's, you know, again, old guy, blah blah blah. Like, I don't know, I can hear it. But I don't know. Like, I'm a fan, and you know, first and foremost, you know, I want to see it because I'm a fan of it. I don't necessarily know that it's going to happen, but I'm going to put a 2-pointer. I still have that, right?
I believe you do. Yes, you do.
I'm going to put a 2-pointer on the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. Again, I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I want them to because I want one last like little title run with Billy Gunn because I fucking think he deserves it, and I'm a fan.
Fair enough. Tom?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I sent you guys an Instagram video. Didn't the House of Black have like whenever they were calling out Billy Gunn, they had his boots or whatever. Like they had his. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So I could see some spooky voodoo mama juju shit going on.
Oh.
So regardless, I'm picking House of Black, but I think that's where the swerve comes in. Is I think that there'll be some higher power involvement or something like that, because I mean you've seen it happen to kind of everybody that House of Black has come across. Look at Julia Hart. You know, I mean it's just, you know, I don't know. It spreads, and I like it. I'm here for it. I'm all about it. I'm all about the stuff that the Malachi Black and House Black are doing. So yeah, I am gonna put. Let me see what I got here. 9, 8, 7. I'm gonna put 7 points on House Black.
I think the Acclaimed is a great group, especially with Daddy Ass. The whole Scissorman thing caught fire. They're very talented, and it showed because you know they've had the titles already. But man, like House of Black's on another level right now. Everything that they are doing is just perfect. And like when you consider the word perfect about wrestling, you know that it's like perfect. Even down to the smallest minute detail, everything is just going exactly how it should be with House of Black. I don't want them to mess that up. At least not yet. And I don't think that like even if the House of Black loses, I don't think they'll break up or anything. I think that this is going to be a long-standing stable in AEW. But I think that, you know, they're really putting their roots down as like the best trios tag team out there. And I like that. And like all the imagery that they work with, and like the darkening of the lights and using their like their shit on the crowd, like that's all really cool. The House of Black rules, all of it, man. All of it's fucking just working for me. So I don't want to. I don't want them to stop that. Give me House of Black for 3 points here. Oop.
You pretty much said it for me. Like, here's the thing: we're not getting Daddy Ass. We are getting the return of the badass. We are getting the return of the badass Billy Gunn, for this match. However, Billy even said one more time, "I'm coming back," and you know, Billy being the pretty strong traditionalist with his, let's say, Keystone career. Billy's done some silly bullshit and he's been through the ringer on a personal level. I just think that this is going to be his proper send-off. And how do you go out, baby? You go out on your back. That's why I'm picking House of Black for 4 points.
It's a good call. I like that. It's a good thought, Poot. It's a good thought. You're a smart man.
The brain's firing on all cylinders, baby.
Glad that you're not stuck in any more of that COVID brain fog.
Nah, man. Today was a good day.
Good, man. Good. Speaking of six-man, we have the Golden Elite, which is Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman, Adam Page, taking on Konosuke Takeshita and the Bullet Club Gold, Juice Robinson and Jay White. Another outstanding six-man tag match. This match might be the match of the night, and it's weird to say that about a six-man tag match, but like, give me Kenny Omega and Jay White, pump that shit into my veins. I don't care who else is there. If it's Kenny Omega,
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Omega and Jay White facing off, squaring up, mainline that shit into my veins. Tom.
Of course. I'm gonna pull the poop card here. Of course, it's me. No. I don't have any idea about what's going on with this feud. I have no inklings at all. But I'm gonna pick, because if I've learned anything, you don't bet against the Bucks and Kenny Omega 9 times out of 10. I'm going to pick the Golden Elite, but I'm only putting 2 points on it.
I mean, yeah, it's called All Elite Wrestling. This group is called the Golden Elite. I don't know how much more of a bludgeon you got to be curmudgeoned with. Yeah. Plus, I think.
I'm sorry that
you heard me. Bludgeon, you got to be curmudgeoned with. Anyway, plus, again, I don't think you bring in Kota Ibushi to lose. I just don't think that that's something that you go out and you get a free agent, a big name free agent to do. So I'm taking the Golden Elite, 9 points. The Bullet Club Gold can just eat all the pins, and it's fine because they're just so good at what they do. Who?
Man, Beef, you're really sticking with me here on these picks, because I was gonna say the same thing, man. Like, and for me, it's the factor of Kota Ibushi being in there, having the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, like you said, the Bullet Club Gold is such a good shit heel group, and they're so fucking cool. It's that Finn Balor factor. It was always Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, we said, could eat all the pins and still be legitimate. You know what I mean? Juice Robinson and Jay White are the same way. Like, they just are. They can eat the pins and they're still legitimate. They have that aura about them. So I'm going also 9 points for 9 points for the Golden Elite. I feel like
Ransom.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. My point was moot.
No, your point was poot. Ransom.
Poot, moot, booty, boot. Golden Elite, 9 points. Fuck your mother.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, rum some.
Yes, the transformation is complete.
The women's title is defended in a Fatal 4-Way match. Actually, I don't think they can call them a Fatal 4 match. I think that's WWE protected content. Anyway, a 4-way match with Hikaru Shida defending her newly won prize against Toni Storm, Saraya, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Okay, I think it's me.
it is.
So I made a reference earlier that I think there's going to be hot treading of the title. I think it's going to be this one. Much to my chagrin, I like Shida. I'm glad that she got the belt again, and I'm glad that they're treating her like an honest to God main eventer, because she is. She is one of, if not the best women on the roster. And this was, Jamie Hayter's match to win. This should have been Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm, but it's unfortunate that injuries played a part in this. All that said, Tony Storm's been killing it as of late, and you can never count out Britt Baker. So of course Soraya's going to win.
No.
Yep. It's the UK, and it's
Fucking
Saraya, and I'm sure that she had baked into her contract that she gets at least one run.
Fuck.
Because again, she, I think, came back with the idea of being like a lesser Bryan Danielson, somebody that we didn't think that we were going to see again. She has not lived up to that. I'm not saying that that's not in there, but I'm saying that she needs to, stop trying to be a fucking Instagram model and maybe put some time in on the wrestling ring, because I know that there is an amazing wrestler in there. I've seen her
Yeah.
in
Haven't we
NXT.
all?
I've seen her
Oh.
on the main roster. Like, I know that Paige is a great fucking wrestler, but she ain't no more. So yeah, put a little bit more time into training, less time into trying to be a fucking Instagram slut. All that said, yeah, I'm picking Saraya just because I think that this is going to be something that's going to happen. Maybe we get Jamie Hayter to come out as like a standoff. That'd be a neat little surprise, but I don't know.
Isn't she injured?
She is, but that doesn't mean that she can't come out and do like a stare down or anything.
Hmm.
Plus it'll pop the crowd. But yeah, give me Saraya 1 point, just because it's the fucking UK and it's fucking Paige. Poop.
Blarg. I was kind of wrestling over this because anytime that Britt Baker is in a match, I always want to go Britt Baker. Britt Baker wins, and not in a bad way. I like Britt Baker. I think she is delightful, and she is a native son of Pennsylvania, and she's very pretty, and also wildly fucking talented. But this is where I was intending on spending my 1 point, because the field that we have here with Hikaru Shida, Tony Storm, Saraya, and Britt Baker, any one of them are viable. Any one of them
Absolutely.
are viable. Like, that's the thing. This is the one to me that is really like the tough call.
This is a pick'em. Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a pick'em. That's why I was saving my 1 point. My 1 point is gonna go. I mean, Saraya makes fucking sense. Like, after you said that, I was like, it's gonna be Britt Baker or Saraya, and I really think Britt Baker, like, she hasn't had the belt for a long fucking time. Fuck. Man, I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna follow Beef's lead on this. It's the 1 pointer. It's a pick'em. I'm gonna say Saraya as well. 1 point.
Ransom.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna say, do I have three points? Hashtag Rumson
No.
need some things.
No.
What's my lowest point that I got?
5.
Fuck me. Well, if that's the case, I'm gonna put 5 on the dentist, not former Kane, but Britt Baker, because she should win, and Saraya can stick to boinking part of the New Day, and I want to be general manager and get the hell out of the wrestling ring because you're fucking done, bitch.
I mean, if we're talking who we want to win, I want Tony Storm to win. Her interviews as of late have been money. She's so good, and she's the most talented one in this match. But I don't think it's in the cards. Tom, what do you think?
Man, I want Britt Baker to win. I think Tony Storm could win. I could care less if Saraya wins. But it's Wembley.
Fucker.
So 3 points on Saraya.
Fuck.
Hot take. I don't think that Britt Baker's that great.
Shit, damn.
I think that she's
about to flip his
Well,
lid.
you know, it's
I think-
perfectly okay for you to be wrong. Like that, we live in 2023. You can be wrong all you want.
I think that she's a fine hand. I just don't think that she's like as good as everybody thinks she is. She's another one I think could probably apply a little bit more time to her craft, maybe. I think that she was vaulted into stardom a lot quicker than she or really anybody anticipated.
Bolton.
And yeah, man. I got no quarrel with Britt Baker. I think that she's fun. I like that she reps Pittsburgh. I like that she's from Punxsutawney. That's all super cool. I just don't think that she's like the world beater that everybody makes her out to be. The tag team titles are on the line when FTR, which features Dax Hardwood and Cash Road Rage Wheeler, taking on the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson.
Fucking hell.
Don't shoot from the hip on this one, boys. Who you got?
Oh man. Every single fucking time I bet against the Bucks, they fucking win. Every single fucking time. And the problem is, had Cash Wheeler not been a fucking meme of Southern people, I feel like this would have been an easier call for me. Because I would have said you keep the belts on FTR. But I really think that FTR is going to get punished for Cash's indiscretions. I'm torn here because I think FTR, they came out this past Wednesday and people still popped like crazy for them, and they were still chanting them on. There was no shouts or cheers or jeers about like the fucking aggravated whatever the fuck terroristic threats, whatever the charges are against Cash. None of it. And they're no selling it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm overthinking the fact that like the like FTR has had the championships for some time.
Mm-hmm.
They're riding high though, man. They're riding high. And like in the interview they said that like the sit down with Renee Paquette. They talked about how, the Bucks are like, we don't have to win this match. We don't have to. You guys do. And I thought that was actually pretty poignant. Like, the Bucks have made their point. Like, whether it's on the indie scene, whether it was in Japan, or whether it, in Ring of Honor, or whether it was, in AEW where they are, the bosses. I think they've made their point. They don't need to win. FTR does, and I think if FTR did win, I don't think there's going to be a terrible amount of blowback on AEW. I don't. I think people are still going to be like, FTR won. Like, people have made worse mistakes than what Cash did. So against my better judgment, I'm going to go 6 points on FTR.
Ransom?
I'm gonna be a pain in the ass. How many more? What points do I have left?
You have 8 and 6, I believe.
Ooh.
Yes. 8 and 6.
Let's go ahead and put a 6-pointer. And I'm gonna say, for a multitude of reasons, I'm gonna say Young Bucks. Because again, it's called All Elite Wrestling. This pay-per-view is called All In. I don't know that they wouldn't have the Bucks win and win the titles at the second ever All In at the biggest event that they have ever done. And just to put on top of that, you never know what's going to come of this Cash Wheeler situation. It could be a fine. There could be a minor amount of jail time. It's hard to say. It depends on how hard ass somebody wants to try to prosecute this guy.
I mean, it's a federal offense, man. Like he could go, he could be in jail 1 to 3 years.
Dude, fucking gun crimes are no laughing matter.
That's what I'm saying. Like yeah, and okay, we'll talk about it a little bit. So basically, the issue is it was in traffic. He had road rage. He pulled a gun out. He brandished his gun. I don't know if he pointed it at somebody. I don't know if he tapped it on their window. But basically, he was like, hey, I got a fucking gun. Don't fuck with me. And, you know, A, it's 2023. You can't do that. Period. End of list. Everybody's got a phone at all times ever. B, if you have any modicum of stardom, you got to fucking realize who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at all fucking times. We've all been there, man. We all get pissed off on the road. My wife yells at me all the time, don't do that, don't shake your fist, don't do that, because they're going to follow us home and they're going to kill it, whatever. I get it. I absolutely get it. But man, like Ransom said, gun crimes in this country are not a fucking joke. Depending on the state, depending on the people, they could, like Ransom said, it could be a fucking fine. He could go to jail for fucking 3 years. Who knows how this is going to go down?
Yeah. I mean, basically, like, you can have your opinions on it, and that's fine. Everybody, especially when it comes to firearms, everybody has their own fucking opinion. But the bottom line is, you don't fucking show that to somebody in an escalated situation. You don't fucking do it. Like, that's just all around. That's just a fucking no-no. And you don't have to be on, you know, the Ransom side of the gun feels to understand that. Like, never once have I been in an escalated situation on the road and thought, you know what, I should pull out my gun. That's, oh my, on a level of no dum dum, that's pretty fucking high. Aside from pulling the trigger, that's you're on the fucking high level of that. That's a, oh boy, that's a no. So I don't know that they, I'd be more apt to pick FTR in this if they knew what the outcome was going to be. Like, if there was a deal in place, like, okay, you do like community service or whatever, you know, it's going to be this much of a fine, whatever. Like, if they knew the outcome, I think something might factor in a little bit differently, leaning towards the Bucks or leaning towards FTR. But with them not knowing how this could go down, I really think Tony Khan, I don't know Tony Khan. I would think, if I'm Tony Khan, I want to avoid another situation where, oh, something happened and now we've got to strip somebody of a title and have an interim champion again, or have a tournament, or have a whatever for these belts. Like, that's happened, I think, enough in AEW already. It's not happened a whole big pile, a bunch, but I think it's happened enough to where, let's err on the side of caution. I don't want to try to fucking vacate titles away again because of an incident. That's why I'm going to side with the Bucks on this. I think it's the safest bet, company-wise and business decision-wise, until you see what's going to pan out with FTR. If nothing big comes of this, you can put the belts back on FTR, and it's no biggie. No biggie at all. But I think until that time where they know what the outcome of this is really going to be, until there's, you know, a deal signed, I have to go with the Bucks.
Well put, Tom.
See, it's hard to say because, I mean, I absolutely see your point. In, you know, if it were you, you'd want to put the titles on the Bucks to avoid any potential, you know, going through the motions that you've already had to go through before. But on the same point, Tony Khan might be thinking, well, I'm not gonna have a knee jerk reaction. If the plan was to keep the titles on FTR until, you know, a certain point, let's do that until we absolutely find out what's going on with this whole situation. So it's really, I had FTR written down on my little notebook here, but then after you guys started talking about it, I'm like, well, you got a point. And I didn't think about it. The video I sent you guys over the weekend, that was just his Bond hearing. That was just to say, like, okay, well, he doesn't have to stay locked up and he can actually travel or whatever, this and that. So there's still, I mean, he still could get prosecuted. So it's hard to say what could happen.
Yeah, just because somebody is allowed out on bond,
Right,
and allowed to travel, doesn't mean that they're not going to wind up doing time later on.
Right. That's that's what I'm saying. I was like, for a second, I got, you know, for a second, I had myself confused, and I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, I thought I sent them a video saying that he got a pretty light deal there, and I was like, oh no, that was just his Bond hearing. I was like, okay, never mind. I was like, ugh, that fucking muddies the waters. This whole situation does. I don't know. Fuck it. 5 points on the Young Bucks.
So, I'm gonna reference the offense. Surprise, surprise. Whenever Dwight shoots the gun in the office, and Joe Bennett's talking to him, and Dwight, you know, is like, "Well, it's kind of a gray area," and Joe's like, "See, but it's not." This is not a tough call at all for me. Young Bucks, 2 points. I think so.
Can I change my pick?
First of all, this is the rubber match. I don't think the Bucks were ever going to lose the rubber match. It's not called all FTR wrestling. It's called all elite wrestling, like Ransom said. I don't think the Bucks were ever gonna put FTR over the big way. At least not at fucking Wembley. So at best, I would have given FTR 40% odds. And now you got this whole thing with Cash Wheeler. Like Ransom said, this could go a slap on the wrist. It is Florida after all. Or it could absolutely be a fucking judge wanting to make a point of it and be like, nope, we gotta show these people that they can't be superstars.
So now you're saying that at best they got a 33 and 1/3% chance winning.
Don't.
The numbers don't lie, Smojo. No,
Come on, you gotta love Steiner math. Yes,
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
I just feel like the Young Bucks probably weren't going to lose this match anyway. The only thing that may have saved FTR was some CM Punk backstage politicking, because Tony Khan loves CM Punk a whole big bunch. And if CM Punk's like, hey, I don't want my buddies to lose the titles, they're not going to lose those fucking titles. Especially since I don't think that the EVPs carry much weight anymore. And honestly, I'm not sure that still doesn't happen. I'm honestly not sure that CM Punk doesn't, throw a I'm Philip CM Punk Brooks. Do you know who I am, Tony? And Tony's like, sorry, Phil. I mean Punk. Yes, FTR will retain. That absolutely could happen. That's why I'm keeping my points very, concerned on this and keeping them at 2. because absolutely, if CM Punk wants something to happen, it's gonna fucking happen. And that's not me being a mark for the guy. That's me, reading all that I can about the situation and knowing how much Tony Khan is a big fucking CM Punk mark. So, and the network loves him, which helps. Like the whole thing is just all about Punk at this point. And yes, so if he says nope, I want FTR to hold the titles for a little bit longer, it may happen. But that said, I think that all probably went out the window whenever Cash was an idiot and made a bad decision. And again, like, he's human. We're all human. We all make lapses in decisions. Things that we do at our work, on our lives, and we go, fuck. Wish I could have that one back. His was just a little bit more high profile, and now he's gonna pay for it. So yeah, absolutely. I think that Tony's got to do the smart thing here and be like, all right, well, because we don't know if we're gonna have tag team champions in 2 months. We got to go with the hot hand here, and I mean, honestly, even in a different facet, like looking at it from programming wise, like the trios titles are mostly defended on Collision. The tag team titles haven't been on Dynamite in a while. It makes sense that this would be like the kind of the turning point here. So yes, I like the Young Bucks. 2 points because again, anything could happen. Finally, the bromance to end all bromances comes to a head. The mega powers, the real mega powers explode. It's Adam Cole versus MJF for the AEW title. Man, like, when you look back at AEW, 5-10 years from now, I think that you'll remember Kenny Omega's run. I think that you'll remember the Young Bucks' initial tag team title run. I think you'll remember the Lucha Brothers for what they did, and I think that you'll remember this MJF Adam Cole feud. The story. It's not even a feud at this point. Like, this has been so well produced. The vignettes have been absolutely on point. They've been hilarious. They've been endearing. And both of them are playing their parts to the nine. And so, is this the end? We don't know. Or is this the bump in the road? I honestly forgot who picked last. Oh, who picked first? So Ransom gets to pick this one first.
Oh, Lord. I have no idea. I really don't. This is the one where this is the one that I gave the most thought to, and even then, I still have no earthly idea what the outcome of this is going to be. At first, I thought for sure, okay, someone's going to heal up. Someone's going to heal up on the other. At the end of the match, we're going to have a clear-cut face and a clear-cut heel. But then the more I thought about it, and somebody even put it in the group chat, I think, what if it's a clean-cut match and there's a winner and a loser and they shake hands at the end and there is no turn? What if they just stay friends? I don't know. I think it has to go one of two ways. I think somebody has to heal up and turn on the other, or it's one of those amicable matches, shake hands, big hug at the end, the loser raises the winner's arms. The more I think about it, though, I think that's probably an unlikely scenario given how big of a deal this pay-per-view is. Like, it's gonna probably end on a big note. They're gonna want to end this show on like a big kaboom. And I don't know how they do that. I really don't. My fandom and my heart wants Adam Cole to win because I am just a big fan of Adam Cole. I would love to see the big title on him. I don't know necessarily, though, if it's time for MJF to lose the belt, though. You know, we talked for so long about the buildup of MJF and how amazing his title run is going to be, and I think it has been so far. I don't think it's disappointed at all. And I just don't know if it's time for him to lose that belt. And then, of course, it's AEW, so in the back of my mind, the whole like time limit draw thing always factors in to something like this. I don't necessarily think a time limit draw would be the best decision either, given the stage and the event.
Well, and I'll say this. I'll give you a little bit of bonus knowledge here. Remember whenever Adam Cole tried to qualify for a match against MJF at Forbidden Door, and they ended that match with a time limit draw.
Yeah.
I won't say you never say never, but I can't imagine them doing that twice.
Yeah, but
No.
was that match that whatever Adam Cole was trying to qualify for, was that the main event at Forbidden Door?
Are you talking about when he faced MJF? No, that was not at Forbidden Door, but it was to fight MJF at Forbidden
That's what I'm. Oh well, I'm saying what. Okay, whatever.
He faced
Okay.
MJF in what they call the qualifier. You know, what do they call it? The where someone can face a champion, and if they beat the champion, they get a shot at the title.
Okay.
He faced MJF on Dynamite before Forbidden Door, to try and get a shot at MJF's world title.
Right.
And
Okay.
he almost beat him. He hit him with the boom, and like the ref was hitting 2, and then ding ding ding.
You're right. Right. Okay. I do remember that happening. Now, so then how did he earn this title shot then?
MJF gave it to him.
Okay. I don't even remember how their whole like bromance even started. Like,
They were put together in the Lethal Lottery,
okay.
or whatever they call it, and like everyone's like, "Oh, Adam Cole and MJF, wonder how they're gonna work together," and it just blossomed, man. It just fucking worked.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna ask one more question, and this may or may not help out Ransom as well.
Yes,
If it does, so be it. Do we have any matches announced or any main events announced for All Out? Because it's literally
No main events. I bet you would get a lot of this kind of run back. Right now we have Luchasaurus defending against Darby Allin and Miro versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
okay.
Miro. All right, look. I think there's more money in MJF as a heel outside of this bromance. I don't necessarily know that it would work as well if Adam Cole turns heel, wins the title, and MJF is a face. Like MJF babyface with no title, he could make it work. I mean, it's MJF, but I don't know. I don't know that it would draw as well as heel MJF champ. Okay, I'm not going to draw this out anymore. MJF. Whatever point I have left.
That is your 8-pointer, sir. Tom?
This is a hard one to pick, and I know it's my 1-pointer regardless. The reason I ask is because I could see this going one of two ways. One is, Aussie Open wins their match on the pre-show. MJF gets pissed off, turns on Adam Cole. Regardless, in either one of these scenarios, Adam Cole is not the heel. There's more money like Ransom said, there's more money in MJF being the shit-eating heel and Adam Cole chasing as a face. I'll add that, that caveat into it. Regardless, Adam Cole is a heel and MJF is a face. I don't see that happening, but I could see, Aussie Open winning, MJF turning heel. Then MJF and Adam Cole have their match later on, obviously, and either if MJF doesn't turn on Adam Cole at the end of the Aussie Open match, I think he could turn here, and that could set up a nice little program, either where they, somehow Adam Cole gets a rematch at All Out, or they build it up a little bit more, the budding bromance, turns volatile, blah, 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 blah. And they set it up for Adam Cole to face MJF again at like Full Gear or something. That's scenario one. Scenario two is that Adam Cole wins it, and then MJF invokes a rematch clause at All Out. I just don't know which way they're going to go with it. But I feel like there's more. I kind of already said it, and I think I got to stick with my gut. I feel like there's more money in the chase for Adam Cole to chase as a face. So I'm going to put my big old one-pointer on MJF to retain.
It has been a long time. But with college football coming back, I feel it appropriate to give you my best Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friends. After seeing how this is built, after seeing the reactions, and seeing how much people dig on this, like, anti-hero MJF, I get almost an Austin-esque vibe, but I don't want to put that on him, because that's fucking unheralded, right? Like, that's like, fucking cream of the crop, best of all time at being that type of a character. But, like, people want to cheer him despite how big of a dickhead he is. Meanwhile, you have Adam Cole, who is on a great babyface run, but we know plays the heel oh so well. He plays the cool heel oh so well.
Yeah.
I'll give you my pick first, and then I'll pontificate a little bit more. I'm picking MJF for 8 points. I think MJF wins. I think it's a close match. I think they hug it out. I think Wembley's going crazy, and then I think Adam Cole hits him from behind. And I think Adam Cole turns heel. I think we get Adam Cole versus MJF next week at All Out, and I think that Adam Cole beats MJF for the title at All Out. I think that MJF, and it's weird to say meteoric with him, because like it feels like he's already at the top. But I feel like Adam Cole turning on MJF would give MJF just the right amount of empathy from the crowd, and would propel him into the next fucking ozone layer. And especially if Cole beats him. And especially if Roddy Strong has anything to do with it. Everybody in the wrestling world is assuming that MJF is going to turn on Adam Cole. I think it would be apropos if Adam Cole turned on MJF, and everybody got swerved. So I think that that's absolutely what's going to happen. Yes, MJF as a heel is a big time money, but you cannot. Ever since MJF came back last year, and he came back as the Devil to that huge pop. And he came out like the next night on Dynamite wearing the Josh Allen jersey too, a huge fucking pop. People want to cheer him. And I think that this is just going to be the beginning of what's going to be an awesome ride. MJF, 8 points. Poot, did I just step all over your points?
That was verbatim the fucking shit I was gonna say.
Fucking do it. I fucking do it.
We were on the exact same fucking mental page, down to a fucking T of saying that Adam Cole's gonna win it all out. Like, that was it. That was it. Like, and I was gonna say, and even to the point of saying people want to cheer MJF. He's, no matter the fucking mean shit he says or does or whatever, that man conducts the audience like a fucking orchestra. It's amazing. And you want to like him. That's the thing. Every time that he has played some form of a baby face, even if it was like a quick heel turn, like it's like, I'll draw him in a little bit and then heel turn, whatever, you want to like him. You want to believe that he is and the thing is, he said something again in the sit down this past Dynamite. He said, "I might be a scumbag, but I'm your scumbag." And that's the thing. And I don't think that was him, winking and going, "I'm going to pull one over on Adam Cole." I think that's him going, "You know what? I'm a shitbag, but you people like me. And you know what? I don't hate you the same amount." Like, I think that's what it is. And I think that's it. And having that moment of like hugging it out and then just Adam Cole waylaying the fuck out of him. It is going to be, it's poetic. It's perfect. And Adam Cole, like Beef said, babyface Adam Cole is fine. It's fine. Heel Adam Cole, cool heel Adam Cole, the one that came out and gave the manifesto of the Undisputed Era, the one who is the heel that makes good points, but you fucking hate him for it. That's Adam Cole. That is prime Adam Cole. Who's ready for story time, Adam Cole, baby? And then hearing a crowd cheer. You want the cheer to be the cheers that MJF is getting. It's they're cheering him because he's a fucking bad guy. The cheers that you get because he's a babyface, they're just not as filling. It's the difference between having a nice fucking porterhouse steak and potatoes and a good side versus having a fucking Big Mac. Both are good in their own right, but one is just less fucking filling and satisfying. So my point here is, it is going to be 7 points on MJF to retain and win. But I think the Adam Cole heel turn, I can already see the smirk on his fucking face. Mm-hmm. I could just see it in my mind's eye. And it's going to be glorious.
Imagine if fucking, Roddy Strong comes out and fucking Kyle O'Reilly comes back. Like, how big of a fucking, like, and then they fucking, imagine them dropping the fucking UE pose. Oh. Like, I get fucking goosebumps just thinking about it, man.
Whatever happened to them, to AEW, whoever filing for the name Paradigm? Because weren't they going to be, wasn't that a group that they could have been or were going to be or whatever?
Yeah, I remember reading that, and then they like started calling themselves the Undisputed Elite because they kind of like leased on with the Elite there, which was fine.
Okay.
I think that if it goes down like I think it's going to go down, and I hope that this is not a situation where I'm like working myself into disappointment, but if it goes down like I think it's going to go down, I think that this absolutely could be Stone Cold Bret Hart WrestleMania 13 levels of awesome, both in terms of like how great the match is and how big of an effect it has on each of those careers going forward.
I think they're going to keep the crowd guessing through the event.
Oh yeah.
I think regardless of what happens in the opening tag match, I don't think we see a turn then.
No.
I don't even think we see seeds of a turn because I think they want to probably try to keep the crowd guessing as to what's going to happen. If they hint at something, then I think the crowd's going to expect it. But if they keep them friends and buddy and, oh man, we gave it our best shot, we lost, I'll see you in the ring later tonight, pal. I think that's what they do because I think they want that to be completely up in the air come main event time. I don't think they want any sort of spoilers for what could happen in the main event.
I'll go one better. I think that we do see some seeds of dissension, but I think that they're all like from MJF to Adam Cole to like strengthen the audience belief that, oh, here goes
Oh,
MJF being fucking MJF again. Like we knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when. And yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I'll say this: it wouldn't even shock me to see Adam Cole win here, and like everybody's like, oh, here comes the MJF heel turn, and he sucks it up, and he hugs him, and then fucking Adam Cole just waylays him with the title or something stupid or something like that, where the fans would be like, "Oh my god, holy fuck!" So like, it wouldn't shock me for it to go the other. But I think the better story is MJF winning here, hugging it out, Adam Cole turning, and then Adam Cole getting the match with MJF next week, and yeah, beating for the title at that point, and then we see this anti-hero MJF face run. That will so here's the only thing that's kind of up in the air at this point because I think that this needs to be something that takes time. Talking about a potential like anti-hero face run from MJF. If the bidding war of 2024 is honest to God like a thing that's happening, and it's not just MJF playing it up. If it's honestly something that could happen that he leaves AEW, that's an awful big fucking risk. But I mean, like, dude, I'm telling you, if Cole turns on MJF, just by dint of how the vignettes have gone this year and how everything, it would put a rocket on Max's back. And again, I know that we're all like, man, he's already the AEW champion. How much better can he get? This could be a big fucking deal. Yeah, man. But that said, looking over the card, top to bottom, I don't see one stinker in it. Even with Punk and Joe, and even with Ospreay and Jericho, I think that both of those matches are going to be big for different reasons.
yeah.
They're not going to be 5-star affairs, but I think they're going to be fun. Stadium Stampede is going to be big and dumb. The coffin match is probably going to be, spotty and weird and also fun. But yeah, I mean, like, there's not one match that I look at this and then I go, oof. So, like, much ado about nothing. Who cares if they booked it all in 3 weeks? Who cares if Kenny Omega and fucking Will Ospreay aren't facing? Who cares that Picard or that Jamie Hayter and Danielson and Pac are hurt? Like, yeah, that's all bummers, absolutely. But like, they've taken what they had, and I'm okay with it. I'm pretty excited, and I think it's going to be a hell of a show.
Yeah, I think if we get a cacophony of fun, entertaining, technical, I don't see how people walk away disappointed. Not every match can be a technical 5-star classic, but the matches that aren't that can still be fun and entertaining and make you go, all right, I'm glad I watched that match because that was fun.
Exactly.
So I think, I think this has the potential to be a really good all-in show.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I know we've been talking for a while, but I think we absolutely have to kind of talk about the elephant in the room. And wrestling lost 2 legends this week. And with all due respect to Terry Funk and the Funker. Like, yeah, he was hardcore before hardcore was hardcore. I think he
I
lived
think
a
the
long
bigger
life.
story is
It's not even
Bray.
the bigger story, the bigger loss. And that's no shade to Terry Funk, because he has lots of friends and families, and I'm sure that they're hurting. And I'm not trying to bring offense. I'm trying to say that he lived a long life.
Right.
He was, champion of multiple places. He was
He had a full career.
right. He fucking faced Bret Hart on his way out. He got to work with Mick Foley, and and they developed a great friendship. Like, he did it all, man. He was super chill and like happy to be where he was. The loss of Bray Wyatt, aka Wyndham Rotunda, at 36 is mind numbing.
That's crazy. Just really stop and think about it. All of us are older than Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It's
Ooh, sorry.
heartbreaking.
It is.
It's heartbreaking. Because and we didn't know Wyndham. None of us know Wyndham. He has his wife. He has his young kids. Friends, family. Obviously, the man is most important here. But we're gonna talk about the wrestler because that's what we knew. And like, he had limitless potential. Every time Wyndham Rotunda did something new, all the eyes were on him. Anytime that Bray Wyatt was coming back, or rumors that he was coming back, it became pervasive. When the Fiend came back, everyone's like, "Oh man, I've heard about all the stuff he's doing. Wait till you see the new mask, and wait till you see the gimmick and everything else is gonna be great." And then whenever the White Rabbit happened, like, "Oh man, what a great
Man.
fucking like viral thing." And he and I'll call back to the Firefly Funhouse match, which is probably one of my favorite Bray Wyatt matches, because of the fact that he knew what it was, and he knew exactly what he wanted to be. And it was never going to be a wrestling match. It was going to be WWE and Bray Wyatt making a point about the Bray Wyatt character. And he got it, man. Like, he understood wrestling from such a molecular level that very few do.
Yeah, man.
So it's huge in that respect. And yeah, like, maybe his last run was not what we wanted.
No. And
Obviously.
that's not to say anything against him, because I feel like it needs to be said in case anybody misconstrues this. Because I know it's been said on here on the podcast, like, okay, well, give me a reason to care or whatever. It's not necessarily about him, the individual, or him, the character. It's more so like the frustration with creative, because
Sure.
you have somebody that has this untapped potential where you can start fantasy booking out to your heart's content, and then it's just like nothing comes of it, and you're like, well, why?
And like, you see it all the time with like the very artistic people that have a tough time focusing all of that into like one stream of conscious. And that's how some of the most truly gifted people are.
Well,
They're never satisfied. They're always, revising. Nothing is ever finished. Look at Beethoven. Fucking Bach, all these fucking composers.
Mozart
that left
died
work-
before finishing his
Mozart.
Requiem.
Exactly. So like, it's not unheard of to have, a singular focus be very difficult. And Bray went through anxiety. He was dealing with all of that, the stuff that like we as real people deal with too, on top of like being this like larger than life persona. And man, like yeah, the White Rabbit was tough. Like the whole Uncle Howdy thing was tough, but it was interesting. And I think that we all kind of agreed on that and said, hey, it's new. He's not just resting on his laurels. He's trying something new.
It
For better or
had
for worse, he tried something new.
it had a lot of potential, and I don't know what happened creatively with the powers that be backstage to Bray or vice or whatever. I don't know where the disconnect was, but I mean, man, I was like, I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I fucking popped so hard when he came back at Extreme Rules. I think that was the
Yeah,
pay-per-view it was. Yeah,
Yep,
it was
absolutely.
Extreme Rules. That pop, like, and it was one of those things, like, you know, everybody been clamoring for it, waiting and waiting. The whole viral promo of the White Rabbit stuff was done so well. Like, and you know, it's like one of those, you know, worst kept secrets or whatever. But it was so great and still got such a huge pop when he came back. I was like, oh man, here we go. And I was fine with it not being the Fiend again. I was fine with it not being Swamp Wizard Bray. I was fine with it being, you know, a kind of dive into this like duality of Bray Wyatt / Wyndham Rotunda, whatever. Then you got this Uncle Howdy in there. And I was like, again, like for me personally, the wheels started turning and thinking of all these things that they could do. And then you see people, you know, internet fan theories and stuff like that about like, oh, well, what if he, you know, forms some sort of, you know, we were talking about like the Wyatt Six and stuff like that. And these, you know, people that could be part of a stable. There's so many ways it could go. And again, it's just the whole thing of it now with him passing. It's heartbreaking when you have an artistic mind like that, and you have somebody that is, you know, wildly creative. That it just, again, so much potential just gone. And
this is very tough for me because like I'm sure that Ransom and Poop may remember, but like when I hosted WrestleMania 31 here, you know, fucking 2 ages ago, I was dressed up like Bray Wyatt. I had the hat, I had the fucking like the Hawaiian shirt.
Yep.
You know, the beard. Like I clung to Bray Wyatt because I saw a little myself in Bray Wyatt. Not to like, you know, be puffery, but like Bray Wyatt wasn't a fucking fitness god. You know, he was a big dude, but man, could he move. And more importantly than him moving, he was a guy that did a lot of the things that I love in wrestling. The technical stuff, the psychology. That was every bit of what Bray Wyatt was.
It's the same effect that guys like Jake the Snake Roberts
Exactly.
had. You know,
exactly.
it's that super cerebral early
Right.
and I know this might sound like a really weird comparison. Early Doink the Clown.
Yep, absolutely. No, absolutely.
Matt Bourne. Like early Matt Bourne Doink the Clown. Like yeah.
So you know, and it's just, you know, we see celebrities come and go all the time, not to sound too like, you know, disenfranchised or, you know, cold-blooded, but like, you know, unfortunately that's kind of the way of life in 2023. And not only celebrities, I've seen friends come and go at early ages. It's when I saw that, my first reply was holy fuck. Like I and my wife's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, hey, Wyatt died. She's like, what? You know, you can't. I'm probably still processing it. And again, like I don't want to make it seem like, oh, Bray was my best friend, and you know, Bray was my favorite wrestler ever. Like, no, yeah, but like he definitely had an impact on me. He was a guy that I thought at some point they're gonna get him right.
Mm-hmm.
At some point he's going to get his due. and at some point he's going to cement himself as one of the greatest of all time. And I don't think he ever got the chance to do that, but I think that his legacy that he leaves behind um, is really great. If you look at his arrival as a Swamp Wizard, his reinvention as the Fiend, and then even like the White Rabbit stuff, I think that we'll all leave out the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match because
Well-
that it doesn't even at this point it's whatever. But like Tom said, man, the White Rabbit thing culminating as the main event at Extreme Rules, it wasn't even a match, and it main evented the show. The dude had it.
Yeah.
He played a cult leader on TV, but he absolutely could have been a cult leader in real life. The way that he talked and spoke to people and spoke to you on a real person-to-person level was outstanding. So, I mean, yeah, rest in peace, Bray. Man, it sucks so bad. Go ahead and have you guys say. I just wanted to get that out, please. Goo.
I mean, yet again, Beef said it. Like, I mean, I didn't know because I had to go to the little poots room, but did we also talk about the Funker?
We did, and again,
yeah.
like no like shade to him, but like he lived a full life. He was he had
he did it.
complete
Yeah.
life.
And
he
his
kind of came full circle. Bray was definitely cut short.
Whenever Terry Funk came into WWE, he was already cemented as a legend. Like, I mean, it was his legacy was already well set in stone. But digressing back to Bray, I think in the time and life of a wrestling fan, you might walk away from the product a little bit or wrestling in general. I know I did when I was in college. I didn't keep up with it. But then I came back around. And the thing is, when you come back around as a wrestling fan, you can go, I like wrestling. But when you get back into it and it's feeling new and you don't know what's going on, you don't know characters, you don't know storylines, you're kind of going through and like you're getting your feet back under you and you're like, oh, okay, this is, I don't know. There's always throughout time and history, I'm sure, when you either first get into wrestling or when you get back into wrestling after not watching for a while, there is always one person, one presence, one character that grabs you and reminds you why you like wrestling. Whether it's from a technical standpoint, whether it's from a promo standpoint, whether it's from a psychology standpoint, or hell, maybe even go, oh, wow, this guy or woman looks awesome. Like, you know what I mean? There's always one entity that re-grabs you and goes, this is why you like wrestling. Or even if you're still into the product, you keep up with it and you just don't watch or whatever, there's one person or one wrestler that will grab you and go, watch me. Like, watch. Enjoy this. And, for me, throughout time, the first wrestler I remember was the Ultimate Warrior. For good or for bad, you want to talk about, his life and times. But I remember as a little tiny Poot the Bard sitting in front of our big, weird TV that was for some reason built into a cabinet that weighed 10,000 pounds, like everyone had. I remember clicking through the TV and seeing this madman running down to the ring, shaking the thing, screaming, hair everywhere, colors, the paint, and the intensity, and everything. And my lizard brain back then was like, whoa. I'd never seen anything like that. And that made me go, what is this? Wrestling? Pro wrestling? Then as I went along and I got into it, the next one that grabbed me was Shawn Michaels. Because he was everything. I was like, he's brash. He's he's talented, he's arrogant, he's a handsome dude. I'm like, I want to be that. But then seeing his talent in the ring made me go, oh fuck, wrestling's great. And then getting back into it, kind of like, it took me years to kind of get back into it. CM Punk was one that grabbed me when I got back into it, and I was like, fuck, this dude's great. I remember watching the pipe bomb promo and going, oh, fuck, this guy gets it. But then as I went along, Bray Wyatt was the one that really grabbed me and really made me go, oh, this guy. I remember even seeing the promos, seeing the way that he interacted with anyone that he was in a program with. Just, again, it's that ability to control a narrative and control the story, and to take the person he's in a promo with and make them uncomfortable and make them work outside their normal character. And the storytelling, whether it was with Swamp Wizard or when he came back as the Fiend, that entrance as the Fiend when he was facing Finn Balor gave me fucking chills and goosebumps. It was captivating. And I know he, by that point, he had lost to The Undertaker at Mania, but I was like, this guy is gonna be, we're gonna talk about him the same way we talk about Mark Calloway. I was like, if he keeps on this path and he keeps going, and yeah, did it run into creative problems? Absolutely. Was the newest thing that we got from him, the White Rabbit thing and the Uncle Howdy and all that, was it convoluted? Yes, but it hadn't codified yet. We didn't get to see where it went. We didn't get to see what was supposed to happen, and we won't. And that's, to me, the sad part. Yeah, there's the people that are there, it's never done, and that was probably part of the issue. But the thing for me is that we don't get to see what's going to happen. The wrestling world, from a storytelling, character-driven, larger-than-life creative mind for the business, the wrestling world is worse off because Wyndham Rotunda is no longer with us. I believe that. And all the kind things that, wrestlers are coming out saying about him, wrestlers will, they'll say rest in peace. They won't say terrible things. People who are, heat seekers will. But it seems like no one has a bad thing to say about Bray Wyatt. You should go read Alexa Bliss's Twitter post about Wyndham Rotunda. It is very heartfelt and very moving. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. And Wyndham, the entire wrestling world is going to miss you.
I don't know if we wanted to mention it or not, because it's nothing's 100% confirmed. Obviously, everything going on with hearing about Bray Wyatt's passing, it literally happened within hours right before we started the recording earlier tonight. Beef, I know you shared it in our group chat. Sean Ross, Sap of Fightful.com, had posted on his Twitter, said, I was given permission to reveal that earlier this year, Wyndham Rotunda got COVID that exacerbated heart issues. There was a lot of positive progress towards a return and his recovery. Unfortunately, today he suffered a heart attack and passed away. I would think that's with somebody of his, for lack of better terms, caliber of being in reporting and stuff like that. I don't think that's something that he would throw out there willy nilly. So I'd have to put some stock into this being pretty valid information and pretty accurate information. So it's, I mean, everybody's still going to be grieving in their own way and processing or whatever. But I'm glad to see that, that whoever gave Sean Ross, the permission to do that, whether it was Bray's father, Mike Rotunda, who wrestling fans might remember as IRS from back in the late 80s, early 90s. Hopefully it gives some people a little bit of some sort of answer, because I think one of the hardest parts when you lose somebody, whether you know them personally or whether there's somebody that you look up to in some sort of capacity for inspiration, a celebrity, an artist, whoever, some sort of, regardless, of somebody that you feel a connection to. When you lose somebody and it's unexpected and you don't have any reasons why, it's always harder to process. And it's always tragic, losing somebody, passing away at such a young age. I've always said death happens, and it's hard no matter what, because either you lose somebody who, maybe somebody who's into their older years, or it does suck when somebody's young. And either case, whether they're young or old, if somebody's sick for a long time, it's hard losing somebody like that, because the grieving process takes so much longer, because you're dealing with things over a long period of time, and it's just, it breaks your heart to see somebody like that and suffering. And then I feel it's, like when that happens, when they finally do pass, there's a sense of relief, that it's okay to go back to, living your life, quote unquote, normal again, and keeping that person in your heart, but, getting back to a sense of normalcy or whatever, and you're not watching somebody that you care about suffer or anything like that. But when you lose somebody unexpectedly like this, it's always jarring. So it just hits in a different way. And when you lose somebody who you feel is like an inspiration, like obviously Bray was an inspiration to Beef, for his reasons and stuff like that. I'm sure there are many other people out there whose lives have been touched in one way or another, by Wyndham Rotunda. So I hope, I hope that any information that comes out, with his passing and this, I hope that people find, some sort of sense of closure. That it's tragic, it's unexpected. But he's not having to deal with any of those health issues anymore or anything like that. We said how he did suffer with, some mental health. I know it had been, talked about whenever, with Brody Lee's passing, that Bray took it especially hard, and I had a very hard time dealing with that. So, I mean, he could have been dealing with things that we didn't even know about. And obviously, I mean, I think it probably came as a shock that, that he had gotten COVID and was, had whatever underlying heart issue and stuff like that. That's all, just kind of coming out to light. But I just hope people can, take away the good memories and stuff like that. And hopefully, however they were inspired by Bray to, to kind of mirror that in their lives, and hopefully inspire others and stuff like that, and just be a force of good. I don't know what else to say in that. So I'm kind of yammering and out of words at this point.
No, you're good. Well said. Ransom, do you have anything to add on that one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I feel it appropriate. I want to read one a Twitter post he put out there earlier this year. Wrestling is not a love story. It's a fairy tale for masochists, a comedy for people who criticize punchlines, a fantasy most can't understand, a spectacle no one can deny. Lines are blurred, heroes are villains, budgets are cut, business is business. But it can also be a land where a dead man walk, where honor makes you elite, where demons run for office, and rock bottom is a reason to rejoice. Woo! It's an escape. A reason to point the blame at anyone but yourself for 2 to 3 hours. An excuse to be a kid again. And nothing matters except the moment we are in. Wrestling is not a love story. It's much more. It's hope. And in a world surrounded in hate, greed, and violence, a world where closure may never come, we all know a place that has hot and cold hope on tap, for better or for worse.